Buffaloes at the University of Colorado, number 11 in the nation, play host to the Texas Longhorns, who come calling tonight in this opening game of CFA Primetime. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin, and welcome once again to Primetime Football here on ESPN. Every Saturday night, we'll be beaming into your living rooms. We hope you'll be with us 7:30 Eastern Time. Now, about tonight and the lid lifter. For the Colorado Buffaloes, very experienced. In fact, when you look at their offensive team of last year, they set records galore. They lost only one player off that offensive team. They had two receivers who were 1,000-yard receivers. They have an offensive lineman who is gone, as we said, but they have replaced him. They're very dangerous. As far as Texas is concerned, extremely, extremely young. 66 players traveled to Boulder for this ball game. 40 of them are either sophomores, redshirt freshmen, or true freshmen. They are extremely green. Mike Godfrey joins me on the telecast tonight. And, Mike, I guess I have to say that if I'm Leon Fuller or any defensive coordinator for that matter, and I look across the line of scrimmage at that Colorado offense, I got to be shaking a little bit.
You have problems, and it's the Colorado offense led by quarterback Cordell Stewart. A lot of people compare him to the college-type version of Randall Cunningham. Strong-arm quarterback, throws the long ball very well. But where it really hurts you is running the football, scrambling, quarterback draws. He has two excellent receivers in Charles Johnson and Michael Westbrooks. But I look for him to run the football tonight to try to establish the run against Texas.
LaVell Pinkney and Michael Adams. Remember the names. They're very young. They're only sophomores. I think physically they can hold their own with the two great ones from Colorado, though, don't you?
You're right. Texas has two good receivers also. Adams has speed. LaVell Pinkney has size to go against the smaller cornerbacks. John Makovic, when he arrived here the other day, had a smile on his face. He feels comfortable about this team. He feels good about where he's at. He's going to play an inexperienced quarterback tonight in Shea Morenz. But, Ron, they can't afford to be conservative because they're going to have to score a lot of points against this Colorado football team.
Well, the crowd is getting restless. Let's go down to our on-field commentator, Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Well, Ron, tonight we get to watch perhaps the deepest Buffalo defense in years, led by linebacker Ron Woolfork. Tell ya, these guys are going to be tough. Now, Longhorn linebacker Winfred Tubbs may not play more than a quarter tonight. Due to injury, missed all of spring ball, most of fall ball. And I'll tell you what, someone else from his team is going to have to step up to beat Buffalo.
Usually Johnny sprays the crowd on spray paint, and I get it on me. Not this time. Look, no runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's tacky.
Good job.
I'm a pro.
For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
You can have a great beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Coming September 24th. Face the pain. Fight the pressure. Feel the power. And get with the program. Rated R.
Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado. Not a seat to be had here. In fact, there has not been one for some time. This is an opening game and a gorgeous weather this time of year. Labor Day weekend. Families up to see their kids here at the University of Colorado. And very mild, wonderful temperatures, particularly for the kids from the University of Texas who've been working out in 100-degree plus temperature. John Makovic, in his second year at the helm in Austin, 6-5 last year. Of course, he came down from Champaign-Urbana after being the head coach for the Fighting Illini. And across the field, his 12th season at Colorado, 74, 51-4, Bill McCartney.
Ron, the last time these two coaches met, 1990, Bill McCartney went on to win the national championship, but Illinois beat them in a game in Champaign when John Makovic called this pass play to beat the Colorado Buffaloes. The last time these two coaches visited with each other. You talk about tough schedules. Colorado, when they won the national championship, played Tennessee, Stanford, at Illinois, and at Texas. All 4 of those teams played on New Year's Day. And you see their 1993 schedule at Texas, Baylor, at Bill Walsh and Stanford, and the Hurricanes come calling. He doesn't dodge anybody.
So Mitch Berger tees the ball at the 35-yard line. Take a good look at the youngster who is out of Delta, British Columbia. And you see his numbers as far as kicking it into the end zone. Number 9, Eric Jackson, who is a junior out of Corpus Christi, back in a deep safety for the Texas Longhorns. There's Jackson. Crowd is on their feet. 1993 CFA primetime is underway. And again, out of the end zone. So let's take a look at the starters on offense for the Texas Longhorns, brought to you by Russell Athletic. And this is the way the Horns will start it tonight. Brown and Jackson, the running backs. Redshirt freshman. He got a medical after an injury to his ankle. Shea Morenz out of San Angelo, Texas, opens at quarterback. As his wide receivers, he will have Hakes at tight end, Adams at one of the wideouts, Lavelle Pinckney, number 80. Very big, but also the fastest man on the team. Brockemeyer, Elliott, Elmore, and Reamer starting in the offensive front, and Dan Neal out of Cypress Creek at that right guard, a redshirt freshman. But Texas thinks he's going to be an awfully good one. Running play stopped for absolutely nothing as Woolfolk, number 56, knifes in to knock him down. Let's take a look at those starters on defense for the Buffaloes. The down 3, Diet and Hicks. Shannon Clavel has taken away the spotted nose guard, but we'll see 6 different people at the down 3 tonight. The linebackers, well, they had to change 3, but one they didn't have to change is the man who you just saw make the tackle. That's Woolfolk. And in the secondary, Lindsey Davis and Collier. Hudson at safety last year. They've moved him back to his home position, which is cornerback. Curtis Jackson hit by Knutson, and the Longhorns right now have gone in reverse on the first 2 offensive plays.
Well, Ron John Makovic wants to get Shea Morenz just a little bit of feel here before he starts to open up the football game. But as I said before, he can't afford to play this game conservatively because he's facing a Colorado offense that's going to score points. He needs to open it up with Shea Morenz, but he's trying to get him used to the conditions.
Last year, Colorado held their opposition to under 30% on third down conversions. Morenz intercepted. Enriquez, the nickelback who had just come into the ball game, and the Buffaloes get it at the 25.
Well, that's your concern with your young quarterback, Shea Morenz. On third down and long yardage, Colorado came in with the extra defensive back. Maurice Enriquez, number 45. You just see him read back. Look at all the defenders around the receiver. The good interception, the good read. Mistake by the Texas offense.
Hakes, the tight end, had to make the tackle, and just that quickly, 3 downs, and Texas is out, and Colorado with the ball just outside their own 25-yard line. And Colorado starts with a 2 tight end alignment. Westbrook goes in motion. 1 at the 20 and out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Here are the starters on offense. Cordell Stewart, the quarterback. A healthy Lamont Warren is the running back. Now, the wide receivers, Mike talked about them, and they are fantastic, particularly Westbrook. Many of the scouts think he's the best in the nation. Johnson, Foria is the tight end, and Sean Embry. And for the offensive line, Birdie, Irwin, Hammond, and West, and Brian Stoltenberg, the center. Only a sophomore out of Sugar Land, Texas. They think he's going to be one of the next great Colorado centers. That's movement by the Buffaloes as the right tackle, Derek West, came out of his stance. And you see the players, they appreciate the crowd, but they're asking their home crowd to
Dead
be quiet.
Ball, false start, offense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
So with the false start, the 5-yard penalty. Tom Ehlers, the referee. J.C. Leinbach Bill Spikesma, Darrell Lewis, Butch Clark, Phil Laurie, and Mark Johnson, our officiating crew tonight, all from the Big 8 Conference. Lamont Warren goes inside the 20 and just about has the penalty back as we take a look at the Texas defense. Baskin, Clark, and Vosick, and Norman Watkins, #1, very good pass rusher. The linebackers for Texas, they are minus Tubbs, their All-American candidate in the middle, but Rapp, a very able replacement, Reed and Reeves on the outside. And in the secondary, they're young. Joey Ellis has the most playing experience. Malone, Howard, and Pascal Waddy, the other three rounding out the defensive secondary. James Hill fumbles the ball, loose on the ground, and Texas has recovered at the 19-yard line. Chris Rapp, the middle linebacker, gets the recovery.
Cordell Stewart with a handoff. You're going to see Chris Rapp, number 63, fight off a block, see the ball on the ground, recover the football, and a big turnover for the Texas defense. When you're a young football team on the road and something happens wrong in the ball game where you get the quarterback throwing an interception and you can come in and play defense like this and cause the turnover, it's a good plus for the Texas football team.
Looks to throw the screen, gets it out of the backfield. Curtis Jackson, little one-on-one, and he gets belted as he crosses the 25 by Greg Lindsey.
John Makovic is a quarterback's coach. He understands quarterbacks. He made a call on 3rd down against the nickel defense. Shea Moran's threw an interception. Now he comes back with a screen pass for Shea Moran's. Just a little quick throw for him just to get him some confidence.
Pitch to Jackson. Runs into his own lineman. In fact, he knocked him downfield. John Elmore had turned around to see if he could help him. And the stop on the play is going to be about 1.5 yards short. Rogers and Knudsen will wind up with the stop.
Ron, you just think about what's going through Shea Moran's mind. He's 6'2", 196, a redshirt freshman, starting a game on the road. Gene Dalquist, the offensive coordinator, told me, he said he's going to make plays for us, Mike. He thinks about throwing deep to short. He's always looking for the deep throw.
Well, Troy Reamer, senior offensive tackle out of Austin Westwood, is shaken up on the play. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more from Boulder.
You know, there's one thing that most sporting events have in common. When you see this R, the player's wearing a Russell Athletic NFL Pro Line jersey.
Hi, Warren. Hey, Joe.
Russell Athletic is also the official uniform supplier of Major League Baseball. They even have in most major college and high school teams. In fact, Russell Athletic even makes great sweats and tees for the rest of us. Unfortunately, not everybody's gotten to work.
Russell Athletic. It's everything we make that makes our sweats and tees so great.
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
Okay, pull away from the curb and take a left at the end of the block.
Yes, sir.
Is this a new trooper?
Yes, sir. It's my mom's.
Tell you what, take a right instead.
Yes, sir.
If ever there was an excuse for driving a little bit out of your way, this is it.
Very nice.
Wait, I didn't get to parallel park.
You're right.
The Isuzu Trooper. Practically amazing.
Very nice.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives. Well, you see the clouds just to the north of us here in Boulder, Colorado. Troy Reamer is okay. Came off the field under his own power, and Joe Phillips, a sophomore out of Midland, Texas, number 70, has replaced him at left tackle. third down, short yardage, straight ahead with the running play, and I don't know if Phil Brown got it. Yep, from where they've given him a mark from the linesman on this side, he will have it. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, Ron, before Ralphie came crashing through the gates, I told you how deep this Buffalo defense is. Probably the deepest they've had in 5 or 6 years. But think about the shoes they literally have to fill. Look at this list. Big time in Boulder. Guess so. Deion Figures in the first round, last April 26th to the Steelers. Bradford went to the Dolphins first, now the Broncos. Look at Beekert, Brown, Renfro, all playing in the pros now. Of course, Renfro is a first-round pick by the Eagles himself. Going to rotate a lot tonight, particularly on the defensive line.
Horns on first down. Quick out pass. Looking for Adams, and it's overthrown. Chris Hudson is the man who had the cover.
You talk about the 5 players that they have to replace on defense. They made the plays here, Ron. Figures was the interceptor. Bradford was the player that knocked down passes. Renfro and Chad Brown were the people who put pressure on the quarterback. And Greg Beekert was a player that really set their defense. Now they're looking for that same type of play out of Ronnie Woolfolk, the outside linebacker, to give them those big plays that they need on defense.
Enriquez, who had the interception just a moment ago, comes in as the nickelback again. Moran, screen to the near side. Jackson, good defensive play at the 30. That's Ted Johnson, junior 2-year letterman out of Carlsbad, California.
Trying to slow down the rush of the Colorado defense. We talked about Ron Woolfolk. He's the player that you have to make sure you block if you're Texas's offensive line. Number 56, you always want to know where he's at.
No score if you just joined us. 11 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. Texas looks at a third down, and the line to make is the 40. Moran scrambles. Takes a pretty good shot at the 35-yard line from Dennis Collier. Also, number 90, Sam Rogers, was out there. Morenz gets up and seems okay as his teammates come over to ask him if he's still all right. Now, Mike, I think this is something that Texas is going to have to be very efficient at, and that is at getting their punts away, because Colorado, we've seen them up here many times. Their special teams against the block, punt, and field goal extra point, very, very good.
Special teams first game have set it off, and you better be good at it the first game, because you haven't worked on it timing enough. So it's a scary part of the first game for a coach.
And they've got a return on this time. It's Vosick. Short kick. Hudson, he'll be gathered in at the 35-yard line. Ball is loose, but the official says he was down. It's a 39-yard kick. And it looks like Chris Hudson, the junior cornerback out of Houston Worthing, is shaken up. And Mike, he seems to be favoring his arm. He has it tucked underneath his body.
A veteran defensive back, Colorado can't afford to lose him. They're very inexperienced in the secondary. Looks like the late hit there may have affected Chris Hudson a little bit there, but he looks like he's all right, Ron.
I have a feeling that not only Bill, but Mike Hankwitz gave a big sigh of relief over there, the defensive coordinator, because, as he says, they're still searching in that secondary, although they have a lot of veteran players back that they're moving about a little bit. Hudson's one of the guys that's definitely big in his plan.
He's the veteran player. He makes all the calls in the secondary. They can ill afford to lose him.
No score, 10-15 left to play in this opening quarter. Second offensive possession by Colorado. In Texas, as you mentioned, Mike, with a huge fumble and recovery that could have been disastrous for Texas early on in this ball game. Well, Bill McCartney wearing headsets. Okay, you say most head coaches do. Not this guy. Took him off after the OU game in 1988. And he said, I thought I was being a distraction to my coaching staff. I didn't want that to happen. But now he's the quarterback coach. Talk about that.
Well, there's two different ways you coach. One, you oversee everything and you keep the headsets on or off, but you don't make calls. Bill McCartney wants to be in on the offense. He wants to make the calls for the offensive football team.
Stewart. That's Johnson. He'll have 11 and now 12 as he goes to the 48. Pascal Waddy, number 26, a senior from Baytown Lee, is there.
Ron, what? Bill McCartney, by wearing the headset, you're more involved as a head coach. I like it that way. I think when you don't coach and you oversee, sometimes you lose your ball club a little bit. I like to be involved. I think he's doing the right thing with Cordell Stewart as his quarterback.
Texas very tight at the line of scrimmage. Lamont Warren hit in the backfield, and it's Jason Reeves, who was only a sophomore out of Austin Anderson. Knifes in to make the tackle. You know, one other point before we leave that, and I thought was really interesting that McCartney said also. He said, I didn't want to be disruptive, but also assistants a lot of times will yield to the head coach when actually they don't want to yield, but they don't want to be argumentative about it. He said, I don't want my assistants to be that way.
The other thing is you have fun. You're coaching. That's what you want to do anyway.
Making decisions. That's right. Loss of 3. Stewart, pressure up the middle, and well overthrown, and miscommunication there as Westbrook ran an out, and he was looking for him like to run a stop and go.
There's one key in this ball game for Texas defensively. They have to make number 10. They've got to get him off his rhythm. Here you see a good pass rush where they were able to knock him to the ground. Shane Rink, number 73. You cannot allow Cordell Stewart to get comfortable tonight. You must keep pressure on him, show pressure, then also drop back in coverage. Do not let him get in the comfort stage.
46, John Hunter comes in, fifth back for Texas. Swings it out to Warren. That's Rapp, and he misses the tackle as he goes inside the 50 and knocked out of bounds just shy of the 45. Now a decision for Colorado. Mike, this early, did you go for it? That's going to be a 4th down 3.
You punt. I don't think there's any decision at all. You punt the football. But Ron, just going back, their offense is predicated on 2 tight ends. You have to stop the run against Colorado, and you have to stop it with 7 people because they have 2 great receivers on the outside that you must double coverage.
Mitch Berger, an average, you could see, extremely good last year, although he claims he does kickoff, extra point, and punting, and he thinks it's taken some of his average away. Mike Adams, who had an injured knee in a scrimmage just over a week ago, wearing a brace on his left knee, and he says he's okay. Number 83. Pooch kick, and this one is mountains high. Adams fields that 36-yard punt, and Texas will take it over just inside the 10. Let's take a break. No score, 9:02 left opening quarter.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be bud.
It's been our observation that where there's a popular car, there's a lease. And where there's a lease, there's one of these. And, well, here's ours, accompanied by the Fillmore String Quartet, who, by the way, would all fit very comfortably inside the Isuzu Trooper, seeing how it's probably the most spacious four-wheel drive around. Why, they could probably even add another member if they wanted to. Maybe not. The Isuzu Trooper and the Trooper Lease, practically amazing.
After 26 years of pitching in the majors, I've learned to take care of myself. Like now, when my muscles feel sore, I take Advil. To last as long as I have, you got to stick with what works.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
The blues will cheer you up. Fun, sexy, and exciting. The most fun I've had at a movie all year.
See Mommy picking the big lock? When you're a big girl, she'll teach you how to pick locks.
Undercover Blues, rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Big Troy Reamer getting a retape job on his ankle quickly on the sideline. And Texas can ill afford to lose either Reamer or Brockemeyer, because look at the number of plays they played, but look at the 3 fellas inside of them when you talk about inexperience. 25-13, and of course none for Neal since he's a redshirt freshman. So that's where they are particularly green. And Mike, they need for both of those tackles to stay healthy and in the lineup. hit by Shannon Clavel. And let's go down and check in once again with Adrian Karsten.
Well, Ron, you said how important it is for those tackles to get back in the game, and Reamer will do shortly. Slight sprain to that ankle. They're going to tape it twice as heavily as they did pregame, so he should be back next series.
Gerald Crawford comes out. Phil Brown replaces him at fullback. So Texas looking at a 2nd down and 10. Line of scrimmage just shy of the 10-yard line. Very hard by Hudson, and he gives it up. Had the ball and got it knocked away. That is a fine defensive play.
Ron, when you look at this defense, Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, I've said all along that I believe Alabama defensively, Tennessee, and Colorado do the best job scheme-wise in the secondary. You see Mike Hankwitz giving his signals to Greg Brown. The best down to throw against Colorado is the first down because they're not having their extra defensive backs on the field. That's the down to throw against Colorado.
And as I mentioned, last year they held their opponents to less than 30% conversion on 3rd down, which is extremely good. Dumps this one out, Curtis Jackson, and he's going to have the first down as he crosses the 20 at the 21-yard line. Enriquez bumped him out of bounds, the nickelback, but Texas was able to pick that one up.
That's where John Makovic does such a nice job calling plays. His 3rd and long yardage, and he works his running backs. Curtis Jackson's going to come out of the backfield, number 39, versus the linebacker. You see the crossing route? Curtis Jackson comes free, but now here's the key. Picked up a block and then was able to pick up the first down. Now, I'd come back on 1st down and throw around because that's the best down to go downfield against Colorado.
Undoubtedly, Reamer's ankle is better after the retape because that was him working against Woolfolk, and he did a good job of picking up the All-American linebacker. Going to go on top, looking for Pinckney, and he's overthrown at the 45. Now, one thing that Mike Hankwitz said to us yesterday that just scared him to death about Pinckney. Pinckney is 6'5", 238 pounds, and it's not, they talk about lineups that SIDs put together and then weights that coaches actually have, and Mike said that is complete. It's accurate, and he's the fastest kid on the team at 3'4'3". So he said, we cannot let him get behind us.
Not only that, he's 6'5". Catalog that play. 1st down, long pass, he was open. Coaches upstairs are going to remember that.
Texas comes with a running play. Quick hitter. Has 5, has 10. Counted off at 15, and there's a marker down as Phil Brown found a gaping hole behind Reamer and John Elmore on the left side.
Don't think they had that off in 25 seconds.
Dead ball foul. Delay a game. Offense. 5 yards. Repeat, 2nd down.
Mike, talk to me about something. I was watching all the games this afternoon. We never used to see as many delay of game penalties as we now see in college football. Is it just because now there's so many formations and it is so much more intricate with the passing game?
I think so, but first game, Ron, if you're going to have them, you're usually going to have them in the first game because you practice for 2.5 weeks. Most of the time you didn't practice with the clock. So you get in the ball game, and all of a sudden your players take a little longer to get the line of scrimmage. It just happens in the first game.
Huge penalty there as Texas would have had the first down, and they scrimmage now 2nd and 15. Bill Brown, little trap play, and he'll take it close to the 20. John Knutson, junior from Great Falls, Montana, 6'4", 245, steps up to make the hit. The Colorado linebackers are unusually big, as on the outside Rogers is 245, in the middle Knutson and Johnson are 245 and 235, and Woolfolk is 240, but yet they maintain a lot of mobility. Caught by Pinckney. Texas will have the first down at the 37.5-yard line. And what a job by Shea Morenz. He put that one on the line.
Have to be impressed with Shea Morenz in the start of this ball game. Lavelle Pinckney's going to drive up and run a deep comeback route. Shea Morenz, the young quarterback, the inexperienced quarterback, watch him. He's got man coverage underneath, but he comes back to the football. That's the key. He ran the route. He was covered by Enriquez, but he was able to come back to the football and make the catch. Some receivers do not come back to the football. Lavelle Pinckney's with a good coach in John Makovic. He shows him how to come back to the football.
Tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and then Roderick Walker will move forward. Well, tomorrow at noon, it's the season premiere of the Emmy Award-winning NFL Game Day. Game Day will look at the Dallas struggle to repeat, the Jeff George controversy, and Chris Berman will take a humorous look at the free agent shuffle. Then at 7 o'clock, NFL Primetime with in-depth highlights and analysis of each of the day's games. So start your football Sunday with Game Day, and then cap it off with Primetime tomorrow, right here on ESPN.
Ron, when you look at the Texas offense, now I know why John Makovic was smiling. When you take over a job in the first year, toughest thing that can happen to you is to have a senior quarterback. He had Peter Gardier, who is an outstanding quarterback, but he played the whole year. All of a sudden, John Makovic starts his second season. He has to start all over with number 12, Shea Morenz. But Ron, he's been impressive so far. He doesn't look like a redshirt freshman. He's completing passes against man coverage. He's reading the secondary. They're trying to disguise him. 4 for 8, 27 yards. Of course, just take away the interceptions. But I think Shea Morenz is proving something to John Makovic right here.
Darrell Price is a man who was shaken up. He has been taken off the field. Pitch comes back to Walker. Breaks it as he goes across the 45 to the 46. Mike, I guess the other ingredient, which is something that is an intangible and you just don't find out until you get a game condition for a kid, and that is he a gamer or not?
He's a gamer. You know the history of him better than anyone, the professional baseball contract, and he was hurt. But I just like the way he's coming out here in this first quarter. He threw the interception, but he rebounded. But John Makovic gave him the confidence to come back in here and throw that football.
No score, 6.5 minutes left in this opening quarter. Woolfolk from the outside as he goes long for Adams. He's overthrown, and that time they were not able to contain number 56. As boy, he belted down the quarterback, Shea Morenz, very quickly.
If a young quarterback has a problem, sometimes they want to go deep too often. Here's Ron Woolfolk putting pressure on Shea Morenz. And Ron, we had breakfast today, and of course his father was there. Ron Woolfolk, his father, and he drove here from Detroit, says he comes to 2 games. But the interesting thing is Michigan State both recruited him. And you'd think his father would say, hey, stay home, I want to see you play. He was happy he came to Colorado.
His dad said once he came to his visit here that it was all over. He had his mind completely made up. Pass complete to Curtis Jackson. And he will have another Texas first down inside the 45. You know, also, he is the oldest of 7 children, Woolfolk, and the 9-year-old brother who was standing there at the table, I told you as he walked up, he's got great shoulders on him and is a big kid. He may follow in his brother's footsteps.
Ron Woolfolk is the quickest first step off the ball in college football. Ran to a scout for the Los Angeles Rams, John Becker, and he said you can never tell watching film whether he's onside or not. He's so quick.
That time he was very close. You're right. They come to the blitz again. Of Texas with the run. Gerald Crawford puts the head down. Ball is loose, and Colorado football. Oh, my goodness, Makovic.
Delayed call, Ron. They're talking it over right now.
Coach Makovic and the staff came down to say that ball was on the ground.
Let's take a look at it here. Gerald Crawford, number 37.
The ball was kicked out of his hand. That should have been a dead ball. The foot comes over. Watch.
Take a second look here. Dennis Kyer, number 22.
See, it hits his foot as he goes down. Colorado football at the 33.5-yard line. Speaking of gamers, Colorado has one at number 10 at Cordell Stewart's. Warren turns the corner, and he'll have 3, maybe 4. Pushed out of bounds by a true freshman, Bryant Westbrook, another one of the youngsters that we talked about on this trip.
The big change in the Colorado offense, of course, is the hiring of Elliot Uzelak. Elliot stayed out of coaching for a year, worked with the Cleveland Browns last year, worked with Gary Tranquil a little bit in the passing game, but has instilled a blocking scheme, a tough, John Malkovich here, you see him up in the press box closest to the wall there, but John Malkovich said they hired a slam him, bam him coach, and that's what he is.
Stewart going to step up and run. And he'll be stopped at the 43-yard line. Ball is loose. Colorado has recovered. And let's go back to the studio and check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us?
Ron Thunder delayed the game between Duke and Florida State, but in action, Joe Pickens, the quarterback. Pickens, not a good name for a quarterback. Picked off by Derek Brooks, the MVP of the kickoff classic. By the way, kicker Scott Bentley missed a field goal and an extra point. Both wide right.
Both wide right. So they're going to have a measurement here. No score, 5:21 left in this opening quarter.
Ron, talking a little bit more about Elliot Uzelak. Of course, you know the story at Ohio State. Robert Smith left the team, claimed that Elliot Uzelak told him not to go to class. I talked to Elliot about that the other day. It bothers Elliot Uzelak. And I'll tell you what, listening to Elliot talk and giving a different story, I don't believe there's a coach that would ever tell a player not to go to class. Elliot Uzelak is a tough football coach. He pushes players. I mean, he works them hard. He comes from the Bo Schembecker school. I like him. I think he's a tough, solid football coach.
I don't disagree with you. And I think, the youngster answered how interested he was in academics when he left school early to go to the pros.
Elliot Uzelak has helped the University of Colorado football team.
Warren Anhill is the setbacks this time. Straight ahead with the quarterback sneak. Chris Rapp is the first man, number 63, to get to him. Also, James Lane, number 96, is down in the bottom of that fray.
I think he got a generous spot here, too, Ron. Cordell Stewart is a tough running quarterback.
Well, here's the reason that Uzelak is here. 1990.
In 1990, they averaged 5.2 yards per carry running the football. Now, Ralphie will kick over that rock, and in 1992, 2.8. They'd like to get a little bit better running the football and get a little bit more balance.
What they also want to do, this is the first catch of the night by Westbrook. And I'll tell you, number 81, when he gets the football, he is a big target at 6'4", 210, and he really knows what to do with it after he makes the catch.
He worked I came out here 2 weeks ago and watched practice, and anytime they went one-on-one with the defensive backs, he wanted Chris Hudson. He wanted the best player to defend him in practice. A lot of respect for each other.
Colorado continues to go. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 1 setback. Cordell Stewart again to Westbrook, and Stewart throws that he can put it on the line. Boy, what an out.
When you find one-on-one coverage, and here you're going to see it on Michael Westbrook, number 81. There's the break. He's got good size at 6'4". He makes a good target, and the ball's right on the money by Cordell Stewart.
That's Westbrook on Westbrook. And the Bryant Westbrook, wearing number 30, was a freshman in high school at El Camino in Oceanside, California last year. And I can promise you, he didn't see anybody like this Westbrook. Blitz is on. Ball is caught by Johnson for the touchdown. Charles Johnson from San Bernardino. He and Westbrook last year over 1,000 yards apiece, and you can see why. Your quarterback is getting blitzed and hit, and Ellis had it covered pretty well, and he threw it perfectly. Berger converts the extra point, and the Buffaloes are on top, 7-0. Let's take a break. 4:22 left in this opening quarter.
Come discover the secrets from Granny's Attic at the Boulder Valley Indoor Flea Market. Open 7 days a week. The Boulder Valley Indoor Flea Market has over 100 different vendors and booths. Select from loads of collectibles, secondhand items, and antiques. If you're a collector, this is the place to shop for stamps, coins, sports cards, and jewelry. This summer, come discover the friendliest flea market around. It never rains at the Boulder Valley Indoor Flea Market, just off Highway 287, behind the Conoco Food Store in downtown Lafayette.
Hi, everybody. I'm Irv Brown.
I'm Joe Williams.
On K-Big Radio, and we're back our third year on Jones Intercable. The name of the show, Pick the Winners. What do you think about that? They're having us back?
I love it, Irv. Broncos got a new coach. CSU's got a new coach. CU's got that new offense. Air Force is going to always come up with something, and I'm ready to pick winners.
Here's a man who couldn't pick his mother out of Count Basie's band. This is The Undertaker. He's buried more people in Denver than anybody I know, but we're back. We're going to have a good time. We want you to join us. Watch us every Thursday and Friday nights at 7 and Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9 on JTV Channel 3.
As the season winds down, the pennant chase heats up on ESPN. This week on America's Game of the Week, the Rangers continue their struggle to stay in the AL West race. The Twins try to play the role of spoilers. Tomorrow night, live on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Welcome back to Folsom Field here in Boulder, Colorado, where those Golden Buffs have just gone up 7-0. Consider the accomplishments of a Heisman Trophy candidate. An athlete, of course, but a student athlete who's only done what 3 of 1,000 athletes do. He got his degree inside of 3 years. Came to college after living 11 places in 4 years, mostly in motels, had no money, often ate candy bars for dinner, if that. One night for supper, he had 60 pills, but never succeeded at suicide. In a moment, his testimony.
But Charles Johnson, after catching that pass, and you could see it was perfectly thrown, in fact, he talked with us on the impact of this story on his life. Kick out of the back of the end zone, so he is 2 for 2 tonight. Yesterday we talked with Charles Johnson, and he talked about the impact of what happened to him as far as the story in his life.
I hope it did have an effect on him, because I don't want anyone to go through the problems or the troubles that I went through. And I know that there's little kids out there that are going through problems like that, because maybe they're single parents or no parents or orphans or something like that. And I don't want them to have to go through that. And I hope my score was motivation to let them know that no matter how hard things are, there is a light in the tunnel.
7-0 Buffaloes. Jackson has 5, has 10, counted off at 15, 20, and now 25 yards. Chris Hudson, and now a late face mask penalty comes in.
It's important for a young team to answer the touchdown at Colorado.
Face mask on the defense. 5 yards added on to the end of the run. First down.
So, Mike, it's a 30-yard gain. 25 on the run, 5 tacked on with the penalty. And here's the end of it.
Tried to get outside. Chris Hudson reaches up to hold the face mask, lets it go, and Curtis Jackson with a first down. Texas needs to rebound from the turnover.
You know what John Makovic is saying to him is that on that fumble a while ago, he was down. Jackson and Brown split backs this time. Woolfolk again under pressure, and Morenz will be sacked at the 40. Bruner will wind up getting him, but it was 56 Woolfolk who will have the stop, and a marker is down.
You never understand when somebody recruits a player what really turns them on, but Mr. Woolfolk said today the key to the reason he went to Colorado over Michigan State, the first day of recruiting, Bill McCartney was in his house. So he picked him as his most valuable guy to sign. Of course, Bill probably went to about 12 other guys that day, too. Told him they were first, too, but he got him.
No, you're right. He did say, he said Colorado just out-recruited everybody, and then my son came out here and it was over as far as recruiting. There will be no flag on the play. It's being waved off. But with the sack, Texas will lose 10, so it's going to be a second down, and the line to make is the Colorado 40.
With Ron Woolfolk on defense, Shea Morenz does not want to be in many second and 20s. This is a screen draw type down. Screen draw trap. Just try to get back up to the 50.
I think what you'll also see happen, Mike, is play action to more roll the pocket, because if you keep sending your quarterback in that same spot, they have locators.
Well, the other thing you can do with Ron Woolfolk, you have to do with Ron Woolfolk, is you got to put 2 on him. You can't allow the tackle to have him in pass coverage all night. Sometimes you line the tight end up over there to help. Sometimes you get a back to help once he gets by the tackle. You just have to have 2 people on number 56.
Looking for Adams. He's got it inside the 20, and Michael Adams tackled at the 18.
Good call. When the air went out like that, Ron, the worst thing can happen is he gets picked off, and then it's like a punt because you're down on the 10-yard line. Shea Morenz, when I was down at practice, and you and I watched him practice, he throws the long ball very well. Michael Adams, 83, is a speed receiver. Now, number 45, Maurice Enriquez, is in pretty good shape. He just underplays the football. He made his move a little too soon. Mike Adams, with good eye contact, brings the football in.
Pitch comes to Holmes, going to be hit, and he'll be knocked down for a loss at the 20. This time it's Jeff Bruner, the senior from Sterling, Colorado.
John Makovic learned from the master, as far as I'm concerned, Tom Landry. He worked with him at Dallas, and you could see his demeanor's the same on the sideline. Gil Brandt Textram hired him over there with the Cowboys, and they very much liked John Makovic with the Cowboys, and I think he's really one of the fine coaches in the country.
Colorado comes with the pressure. Pass over the middle for Adams, overthrown. Closest man to it, that was Hudson, who just went parallel to the ground for the football.
Here's what Colorado's doing to Shea Morenz. They're showing him a lot of different looks. Here's the pressure that they're going to get to him. Here's Woolfolk coming inside, also some pressure, and they're always going to make sure he gets hit. But when he lines up at the quarterback position and he looks over the secondary, they're showing him one thing, but when that ball snaps, Mike Hankwitz has him going into a different coverage. Good disguising by the secondary.
Now you see they brought in Gerald Crawford at fullback, and he's a 243-pounder, and he's lined up to help block on Woolfolk. Morenz gets by Holland. Ball is fumbled, and Colorado recovers at the 25. Flavelle with the recovery, and Woolfolk knocked the ball out.
The inexperience of a quarterback, though, you have to throw that one away. You're in field goal range. You want to pick up 3 on the road. You want to throw it away. You don't want to take the sack, and that's exactly what John Makovic will discuss with him on the sidelines. Number 56, again, pressure on Shea Morenz. Ron Woolfolk makes it happen. You have to block him or he'll wreck your offense.
Stewart with play action, pressure up the middle, and that one's thrown away as he got decked by Stoney Clark. Charles Johnson was the man who was looking for him. Clark, that's quite a collision, as Clark is 6'1", 320, a sophomore out of Gladewater, Texas.
Looks like a fire hydrant when we were down there watching him practice, and probably is just as difficult to move. Cordell Stewart really just threw that one away. Cordell Stewart's got a bonus when he has Lamont Warren in the backfield. He can catch the football. James Hill's in there now, the running back.
Option play is what they go with, and the pitch to Hill. Knocked out of bounds at the 42, and let's go back to the studio and Mike Tirico.
Ron, back to number 1. Duke has never beaten number 1. It's not going to happen tonight, it doesn't look like. Look at Shaw Jackson. He breaks 5 tackles on the way to the end zone. He ran in 2 in the kickoff classic. 1 tonight. The extra point makes it 20-0 for the Seminoles with 5 minutes left before halftime. Ron?
Come quickly, halftime. I have a feeling that's the feeling of a lot of folks down there. Our situation, 2:27 left in what has been a very long opening quarter. 7-0 Colorado. Hill, behind some good blocking, forges his way out close to midfield to the 49.
Look at the offensive guards here, the way Colorado plays them. They'll back them off the ball a little bit. And the reason they do that, Elliot Uselak brought this to Michigan, gives them a chance to pull around, gives them a better chance to see blitzes on pass protection. Just a unique little technique that he teaches. They're off the ball.
Stewart reverses it out and has the first pass to Fourier, his All-American candidate at tight end. And what a target he is at 6'4", 235 pounds.
It's a good receiver, but he wants to be known as a blocker. When he talked in the interview the other day, he says, hey, I'm a good pass catcher, but I want to be known for my blocking ability. They call him Rocky. Got in a fight in the cafeteria one time, threw a strawberry and hit an upperclassman in the head, and then he fought him, and then he went back, finished his dinner, and then one of the coaches called him Rocky the next day.
There's a baseball cap that has Rocky on it, in fact. Hill again. He'll take it forward for 3 now for Chris Rapp, the middle linebacker. 63 steps up to make the hit. Chris, a senior 2-year letterman from Dallas White. And of course, as we mentioned, he's replacing Winfred Tubbs, who had the cut wrist just before the varsity was to report. And it is Stoney Clark who is down for the Longhorns, number 93.
If you're Leon Fuller right now, you accomplished what you wanted to early in the game, keeping Cordell Stewart off balance. He now has found a little rhythm. Now they're starting to run the ball successfully. They're starting to roll him out. Long touchdown pass against the blitz to Charles Johnson. Cordell Stewart starting to feel at home, and that's bad news for the Texas defense.
Well, while we got a little delay in action, don't forget Winston Cup points leader Dale Earnhardt has 6 wins this season, and he'll be out to get his 7th tomorrow in Darlington. Don't miss any of this excitement with the Mountain Dew Southern 500 tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on ESPN. 7-0 our score, Colorado. Clock is running, and we're about to go under 1 minute to play. Hill tries to get outside, hit by Rapp, close to the first down. He's going to be about 1.5 yards shy. They will mark him down just shy of the 36-yard line. Well, Mike, your observation was right on with Lamont Warren. He is the better of the two as far as being a pass catcher, but Hill is the runner. I mean, he's beefier at 6 feet 210. He's a 3-year letterman, but they have run the football better since he has come into the ball game.
Lamont Warren can do both, but he is their pass catcher out of the backfield.
This time it's Warren. Finds a hole. Goes inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Pascal Waddy rides him out of bounds, but it's a Buffalo first down. Hill with a good block.
Well, there's no fullbacks on this team, so they have to move a tailback to fullback when they go to short yardage, and that's James Hill. So you have a tailback blocking at 6 foot 210, and he showed us right there that he can block.
That's right, Barber and Bussey, 2 fullbacks who were here, both transferred because realizing this is not a fullback offense, and that is the end of the first quarter. So let's take a break. As they change ends of the field, the home folks are standing and cheering. 7-0. Their Golden Buffaloes on top.
Even if you can afford some of life's luxuries, you still need a way to get them home. Which is why the Isuzu Trooper comes with a cavernous amount of cargo space. 90.2 cubic feet to be exact.
850, 850, no one bid 850. Masha, sold to the gentleman in the blue blazer.
Plus, it's got a rather large towing capacity. The Isuzu Trooper, practically amazing.
Sports Illustrated gets you ready for NFL football in this exciting new video, Inside Football 93. Free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get inside the action for over 24 million readers. Call this number now and get the best of last season, plus Sports Illustrated's views on the next champion.
I like San Francisco to beat Dallas in one of the greatest championship games.
Plus, you'll get a second video free with your paid subscription. The NFL Video Yearbook of your favorite team. Pick any one of the 28 teams and get their best from 92 and a preview of 93. Free from Sports Illustrated. Get 2 free videos, Inside Football and the team video of your choice, plus 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the 2 big football previews for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Every week, Sports Illustrated makes sure you really get in the game. Nobody's into sports like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
This simple outside says inside you'll find a lasting commitment to performance. The Intel 486DX2 processor, power for today's hottest software. And the Intel Pentium processor for the next generation of compatible power. That's Intel, the computer inside.
Welcome back to Boulder. First quarter is now in the books, 7-0. Colorado leads, and it came on a beautiful touchdown pass from Cordell Stewart to Charles Johnson. And it was a play that we were just talking during the timeout that Joey Ellis, the cornerback for Texas, had about as good a coverage as you can have without interference, and the pass was perfect. James Hill, and he's going to take it all the way inside the 10. Van Malone with the hit for the Horns, and all of a sudden the running game is really beginning to work, and that spells disaster for Texas because that means the pass game opens up.
Well, you're right. The reason it's working is because you have to double Michael Westbrook on one side, and you have to double on the other side Charles Johnson. So that means you can only play with 7 people in the box. So it's 7 offensive linemen versus 7 defensive players and 1 back. So the advantage goes to the offense.
For the left guard, and that one was doomed from the beginning as Cordell Stewart was fighting the clock. It was down to 2 and then 1. He had to go ahead and get it off, and Heath Irwin jumped a little quickly.
Ron.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Here's the reason they had to delay call, because all of a sudden Texas moved up, and now they have 8 players versus the run. Cordell Stewart wanted to check off, took a little bit too long. He saw 8 in the box. He wanted to check off to the option to the weak side, just took too long.
By the way, the young man who moved, Heath Irwin, is the nephew of Hale Irwin, who was an all-star defensive back here at Colorado. Pass complete to Westbrook. Gets by 1 tackler, and he'll score. extra point. He knocks it home. 14-0 Colorado.
Folks, this is an offense that's got a lot of weapons. Starts with number 10, Cordell Stewart. You see the little route here where Michael Westbrook, number 81 out of Chadsey High School in Detroit, makes the catch. Now he's so strong that he breaks the tackle of Chris Rapp, number 63, and is able to get in the end zone. See, he's 6'4", 210 as a junior, Ron, so he's got some size. 76 receptions for 1,060 yards in 92. And when you have two good receivers like that, well, I tell you, I'd like to be the running back on this team because I know I'm going to get a chance to run the football inside against a defense that has to double wide receivers.
Winford Tubbs, the All-American candidate for the Texas Longhorns, who is in uniform tonight, but you can see that hand. It is like a club inside the cast, and he is going down the bench talking to every defensive player, trying to get them pumped up a little bit. He cut his wrist the day before the varsity was to report and trying to put up a window. His hand slipped off the handle. A severe laceration on his wrist in which he severed a tendon. And the doctors do not want that to move. In fact, you can see it's in a downward position because if the tendon were to come loose again, we are told in not exact doctor terms, but that he might never play again. So they're being very careful with him, but obviously they'd love to have him in this ball game tonight. So he's here to be a mental help rather than a physical help. We may see him a little bit tonight.
Texas coaches did not use that as an excuse.
Berger's knocked it out of the end zone twice. This time he does not. Bill Brown will take it at the 15. And he'll take it all the way out to the 37-yard line. You know, Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for Colorado, made an interesting observation about Berger. He said, I said, that's a great weapon to have, and the fact that he kicks it out of the end zone. But he said, yeah, but you know what happens? He said he does it so often. Sometimes our guys grow kind of lax, and then all of a sudden he doesn't hit one good, and it's in play, and they're not coming down the field maybe as hard charging as they should be on the special teams. This time he didn't, and Texas gets it back to the 35. Counterplay. Holmes will turn the corner, gets a great block from Adams, and he's going to wind up with close to 15 yards in the play. Collier will run him out of bounds.
You talk about a block, you're right. Number 83, Michael Adams, 6'1", 180, gets a chance that a wide receiver often looks for. A chance to come back and make a crackback block and send a message. You see the trap. Now watch corner of your screen. Look at that block. He just buried someone. Good run by Anthony Holmes. Here's the block again on number 23, Greg Lindsey. Greg Lindsey's going to wake up and say, hey, somebody's got to yell crackback.
14-0 Buffalo's lead. We're in the first minute of the second quarter. Curtis Jackson will have 5 yards and then gets belted out of bounds by Dennis Collier. Also Matt Russell, redshirt freshman from Fairview Heights, Illinois, is out there.
Sure, John McAdoo is real pleased with his plan so far. The 2 turnovers is what stopped the Texas offense. It hasn't been the Colorado defense. It's been they've stopped themselves. So,
and you know, Mike, they had the interception early, which they got a fumble back from Colorado. So, but 3 turnovers in a quarter in hostile territory, it could be worse than this.
Well, the concern you have to have if you're the coach of Texas now is the youth of your ball club, because if you get behind too bad, it's going to be like a snowball going down the hill. You can't stop it.
Lorenz intercepted. Dennis Collier, and he just threw it right to him. That time he just tried to force it.
Bad decision again by Shea Moranz, but he's going to learn on the job. Tried to go to Mike Adams, number 83 on the curl route. Greg Brown, the defensive coach of Colorado, has a good secondary. And they read the throw of the quarterback. And Dennis Collier, number 22, just with a good break. It was right to him. Looked like he was the intended receiver.
One of the things that the coaches had talked about at Texas is that Moranz had not thrown an interception in any of the 3 Texas scrimmages. That one he really forced.
For a bomb here, Ron, or a quarterback draw.
No back set, and they're not doing it with motion. They just put the running back at the line of scrimmage. Stewart, ball is tipped, and Fourier makes the reception. It's Rapp, who was there defensively for the Longhorns at the 48-yard line. Now, boy, if that doesn't get outside single coverage, I don't know what will with no backs, Mike.
Well, the problem it gives Texas right now, they have to decide who they're going to put on Lamont Warren. Are they going to move a linebacker out with him? Now you have a mismatch. Are they going to put a corner out with him? Then you have a mismatch versus the tight end, Fourier. So that set is really going to give them some problems.
Stoney Clark, who was injured a moment ago, comes back into the lineup for Texas.
Bill McCartney with the headsets on for the first game, calling plays.
To the Colorado bench.
But you can hear the announcement, sideline warning on the Colorado bench. One of the things they are cracking down on this year is the sideline. Also profanity from the sideline. But here at Colorado, it's very hard because there's no track on this field, Mike, and the stadium is right up. It really pushes the kids right up next to the field.
When I was on the sideline coaching, I liked it when they came over and said, move back.
To 13:02 when it was stopped for the sideline warning. 13:02 on the clock, please.
Some of these sidelines, you'll see the coach out in the field. He almost get hit sometimes. Here you see John Makovic talking to his offense. He's got a young football team. He just has to settle them down. What he's telling them is, hey, we're doing a good job. We just stop ourselves. They haven't stopped us. We stopped ourselves.
By the way, if there is another bench warning toward Colorado, it's a 15-yard penalty. Lamont Warren takes it across midfield and down to the 45. And let's go back to the studio and Mike Tirico.
Ron, the debut for Jim Caldwell at Wake Forest. Vanderbilt leading 26 at this point. And Todd Dixon takes the kickoff and gets free on the sidelines. 95 yards later, this was a much closer game at 20-12. But on the ensuing drive, the Commodores answer back in Winston-Salem. Eric Lewis, the wingback, he makes the move to the inside. 33-yard score. Vanderbilt extends the lead now, 27-12.
Terry DiNardo used to be an assistant out here, the head coach at Vanderbilt.
Stewart's pass overthrown, and Johnson had caught the seam. And the Longhorns have a linebacker who is shaken up. I think that's Patrick Hayes. And in fact, is that a cramp? He started signaling to the bench as he went down to cover on the play. And he's grabbing the back of his leg.
Another problem you have when you bring a team here to Colorado is the altitude. They used to have a sign in the visiting locker room here. It says, beware of altitude, 5,380 feet.
So let's take a timeout. 12:26 left until halftime. Colorado 14-0.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
Some thrive on the pressure. Others never get used to it. But if you play the game, this is the place to be. It's the U.S. Open, where for 2 weeks each year, the whole world watches every win, loss, tiebreak, and heartbreak. But if you go, get ready for excitement and pull out your Visa card, because the Open will take you to the edge of your seat, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I have to see it. If a movie got great reviews, you'd go see it, wouldn't you? If everyone kept talking about a book, you'd probably read it. And if Automobile Magazine called this Toyota Camry the best car built in America, you'd give it a test drive, right? The 1993 Toyota Camry. Everything you've heard is true.
Oh, it's a gorgeous evening. Some rain off of the mountains to the north of us. 14-0, Colorado on top. By the way, we were just looking during the break. 147 yards for each team in this half, but Colorado leads 14-0. 4 turnovers. That's what John Makovic was probably talking to his team about. We've stopped us, they haven't. Lamont Warren turns the corner. Going to be hit just shy of the 40-yard line, and then we'll go down. Tony Brackens, who is a freshman from high school out of Fairfield, Texas, there to make the hit.
Tony Brackens, a big defensive lineman.
They think he's going to be a super.
Yeah, Rex Norris told me he thought he's going to be a great player. When he was in high school, they played him at middle guard so that the opposing team could not run away from him. Put him right in the middle so they could play both sides. He made that play. There's Rex Norris with him, a fine defensive line coach.
Bobby Jack Wright coached the outside backers, and Leon Fuller to his side there as they discuss defensive strategies. Third down. Blitz up the middle. Pass is overthrown, and it's Robert Reed, number 40 for Texas, who is applying the pressure.
Have to do something different to pressure Cordell Stewart. Leon Fuller, the defensive coordinator, is going to make the stunt here with number 40, Robert Reed, 6'2", 220. Able to come in, just make enough of an impact to make Cordell Stewart throw the ball away.
First time that we've seen Berger punt tonight.
It's a good fake situation here for Colorado if they choose to do it. I'm sure they'll probably pin them down and kick it inside the 10-yard line, but this is the fake possibility for Texas you have to worry about.
Pooch kick. Adams signals for the fair catch, lets it go, and just gets into the end zone. Well, this aerial view of tonight's game is courtesy of G.E. Johnson Construction Company, Colorado's contractor of choice, on their tower crane on the construction site of CU's new research building. And that is, what is it, fellas? 10 stories up there? 18, I beg your pardon. We had Gottfried headed that way yesterday, an airbag, and 2 helpers later, and he was back down.
All those people standing on there should be seeing a psychiatrist on Monday.
That is a long way up there. Wow, when you're looking at the roof of a building from that high above, you're up there.
I lost something on about the second staircase.
First down, Brents to throw. Puts it up on top for Adams. Coming back, and he's got it. And a marker comes down at the 40-yard line. Adams got Hudson turned around. Now the pass is good for 40 yards, and let's see who the flag is against. See Dwayne Davis, 21, standing there anxiously awaiting.
Pass interference, defense.
Remember what Gene Dahlquist said. He said he likes to go deep. Here's Mike Adams on a down route. Now he's going to break it outside late. Chris Hudson just loses Michael Adams. And Chris Morenz may have got away with one there, Ron, throwing the ball deep like that and hanging it up for a long period of time.
Yeah, Shea Morenz.
Chris Hudson got turned.
Shea also got some good protection that time, which it is of paramount importance that they do that. And Morenz does get an opportunity to look. This is Pinckney. Inside the 25, and he's down to the 24.
Now there's a talent, number 80. Looks like a tight end, but he can run, as Ron was talking about earlier. He's 6'5", 235. In high school, usually you put those guys at tackle, but he runs so well. He's just a big receiver that can run. And Ron, it is so important right now for Texas to get some kind of points on the board for this young offensive football team. Can't misfire down here now.
14-0. Colorado leads it. Just over 11 left until halftime. Going to go up on top. Going for Adams again. Just a little too far out of the end zone.
Colorado invited that. They went to one-on-one coverage. Remember I talked about Chris Hudson. He worked every day one-on-one versus Michael Westbrook. And they had so much respect in the drill. Now he has Michael Adams, number 83. He's in pretty good shape. Now he hears Ball, one of the other teammates yelling Ball. There's a little separation there. Shea Morenz just threw the ball a little bit too far, but Shea Morenz likes to throw the long ball. Got to like it on that play because he had a chance. Hit a one-on-one situation.
Morenz 8 of 16, 137 yards, 2 interceptions. Roderick Walker tries to turn the corner, puts a head down, and picks up 2 more with that effort, and it'll be 3rd down Longhorns, and the line to make is the 14. Dwayne Davis is the man who hit him.
Colorado defensive coach Mike Hankwitz now get an extra defensive back in the ball game, figuring John Makovic will like to work the inside a little bit with his running backs. Phil Brown, number 29, is an excellent receiver coming out of the backfield. There's the color chart also. They give the personnel that Texas has in the game with that card.
Pass is tipped, and he's caught by McLemore. Justin McLemore had the tip ball come right into his hands, and it's a Texas first down at the 12.
Interesting move by Mike Hankwitz. He brought Chris Hudson, the corner that we just seen defending the long pass, on a blitz. It's number 47. He makes the hit on the quarterback. There's the tip. Justin McLemore, number 22, really a good job of concentrating and looking the ball into his hands as he's going backwards.
Now Texas with 2 tight ends, 1 setback. Throws to Hakes, the tight end. He's going to be stopped just inside the 10-yard line. That'll pick up 3.
Chris Hudson again, very active. Chuck Heater is the recruiting coordinator here. Used to be the defensive backfield coach at Colorado State. Says he can change gears and he makes plays. Comes up and makes the tackle on number 84, Jimmy Hakes. He's all over the field, Chris Hudson. Plays in a lot of different spots.
Well, it was a safety last year, had been a corner prior to that. Very good athlete.
You got to think of Lavelle Pinckney here, one-on-one with a fade route.
They go with a counter trade. Phil Brown gets outside behind the block at the 5, and he'll score. Dan Neal, number 69, the redshirt freshman that we talked about, along with Pinckney with key blocks on the play.
That was a big series for the Texas offense. And you're right, Dan Neal with a good trap block, and Lavelle Pinckney used that 6'5" frame to seal off the corner. And Phil Brown was in the end zone. Big series for the Texas offense.
You don't think that conversation between the head coach on the bench and the offense had anything to do with it, do you, Mike?
I think it was a confidence builder because he was telling him he haven't lost confidence in him.
Serretti splits it, and it is a 14-7 ball game. So let's take a break. 9:12 left until halftime. We'll be right back to Boulder.
I'm State Farm agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
State Farm sells life insurance.
The Toyota Celica GT Extra Value Package is so incredible you can't resist it.
The warbled egret poised.
See? You can't resist popular features like cruise control, air conditioning, AM, FM stereo cassette.
And squeeze!
Uh-huh. Couldn't stay away from power windows and door locks, could you?
It's the most unbelievable.
Came back for the savings, huh? Up to $800 on the 1993 Celica Extra Value Package.
I love what you do for me. Toyota.
Morning. Okay, hold on.
Delta Faucet has over 1,000 different styles of faucets to choose from.
Wait, just a sec.
So there's a Delta Faucet that's right for everyone's needs.
Oh, okay, I'll get the food, you get the water.
Delta, the way water is brought to life.
And don't forget to turn it off.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. Welcome back to Boulder, Colorado 14-7. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten. And we hope you're enjoying this first of what we hope are many fine Saturday evenings, CFA primetime. Texas now has 225 total yards in this first half, but they also have 4 turnovers. James Kidd, number 2, redshirt freshman, Elk Grove, California, awaiting this one, and Sharady will kick it 9 yards deep. So the Buffaloes will take over 80 yards away.
Ron, watch the block here first of Dan Neal. He's going to make a block right here, the right guard, that sets this play up. Here's the block. Now that stops right there. Now the back will break outside. Now watch 6'5", 235 pounds. Lavelle Pinckney just wall off the defensive back and gives Phil Brown the chance to get in the end zone. 2 excellent blocks on that play.
7 plays, 80 yards, 220 elapsed, 2 runs, 5 passes as you look at Pinckney. And it's 14-7, Colorado. Again, no backs by Colorado. And we had movement at the line of scrimmage. Mike, a lot of teams, particularly, we would see Miami go to no backs, but they would do it through motion. Does it put more pressure on, or what is the difference of what Bill McCartney is doing here by just lining them up with no backs?
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense, interior lineman, offside. 5 yards, repeat first down.
First round, what allows them to do that is number 12. He's a good receiver. So whether you shift out, motion out, or line up in it, he's the key player in this offense because they have to line a mismatch up against him, because you can't get nickel in on first down. Now watch what we have here with the number 12, Lamont Warren.
He split out to the left, and it's a quarterback draw. Stewart has 5, has 10, cut it off at 15, and he will have the Colorado first down. A gain of 18 on the play as Van Malone made the stop.
Nice call by Bill McCartney and Elliot Uzelak. What they chose to do there was to go to a formation and spread out the Texas defense, and who better to run the football than Cordell Stewart? He's a good runner at 6'3", 210, runs a little quarterback trap.
Warren still in the game, but this time he lines up as the only setback. Gets the hand off into the right side, hit by Chris Rapp after he gains a couple, and they'll put it out to the 38-yard line.
Leon Fuller has to be scratching his head because it's a tough offense to defend, because they give you formations and try to make. There you see Leon right there. He's got a hat on, so he can't scratch his head, but he has to do some different things to try to keep Cordell Stewart off the mark, but he's got so many weapons to go to that Texas just trying to slow him down.
Counter tray here. Warren tries to get outside. Rapp stays at home along with 88 Jason Reeves, and they make the stop. Also out there to help out, you could see number 13, Brian Johnson, who is another high school freshman. He's from Jersey Village, which is just outside of Houston.
You keep talking about a play like that for Leon Fuller. There's so many weapons, Ron, that you always got to be conscious of where Westbrook is, Charles Johnson's at, what Cordell Stewart's doing, because they've always got the chance of the long ball.
Stewart gets it away, incomplete, and he got it away. He had to hurry because 13, Brian Johnson, the freshman I was just talking about, was putting pressure on it. So it'll be 4th down, and Colorado will have to punt.
In the last 2 series, Texas has made some good calls on 3rd down and not allowing them to keep the chains moving.
Now, we may get an opportunity to see Adams return this time, as Berger will have to kick to him unless he kicks it out of bounds. And although Adams had the knee injury week before last, he is one of the speedsters, of course, one of those 2 wide receivers that we talked about, and is extremely dangerous on punt return. yards in the kick. What in the world?
Well, what happened is they made a decision to go for the punt and almost got the punt because real bad snap from center. But Michael Adams looked up, saw Ralphie the Buffalo coming at him, and decided to go the other way. Now, I've never seen anything like that.
Well, maybe a fair catch, or maybe just go down to a knee. We will take a break. We'll be right back.
We deliver the best to your door. We make it easy and offer you more. Everything you need is here for you. Stereo, TV, and furniture too. Rent to own. Everything for your home. At Mr. C's, we make it easy and offer you more. We deliver the best to your door. At Mr. C's.
Are you just getting by, waiting for that piece of sports equipment you need to go on sale? Why wait? At Play It Again Sports, all our used and new sports equipment is priced like it's on sale every day. Play It Again Sports.
Heisman Trophy hopeful Marvin Graves leads a tough Syracuse team against the Pirates of East Carolina. Live college football Thursday night on ESPN.
Coming up, it's the Delta Faucet halftime report. First, we have to tell you about a wild game that happened today in Atlanta, Division II, between Johnson C. Smith and Morehouse. This game was tied at 14. Morehouse had its game-winning field goal try blocked by Johnson C. Smith. There were offsetting penalties. The Johnson C. Smith coach so upset, wouldn't put his team back out on the field. Morehouse wins by forfeit. Ron?
Well, you can see what is kind of an eerie-looking sky here as there's rain around Boulder, not here. In the city, but the wind, Mike, has really kicked up, and it keeps changing directions. I'm not sure I'd want to try to throw a long pass right now.
They're going to mess those guys up in Crane.
Running play straight ahead from Anthony Holmes, and he's hit by Bruner. He will stop him just shy of the 15-yard line. The wind looked like it was coming from the north, and then it looked as though it was shifting from the west. That flag up there really airing it out. That is now coming from the west, just over the mountains. Texas keeps it on the ground with Phil Brown, just short of the 20-yard line. It'll be third down, and the line to make is just short of the 21. Let's go down to Adrian Karsten.
Well, Ron, after that last attempted punt return, as long as Michael Adams stays on the field, he's safe. I'm told that Coach Makovic vehemently is anxious to see Mr. Adams when he comes off the field.
Well, he showed his speed, but he was going the wrong way.
I think at John's age, he can catch Michael Adams.
Oh, look at the paper blowing around on the field. Nice run by Roderick Walker out across the 30. Lindsay finally makes the tackle, but that's the first down +8.
You have watched Texas practice several times. I was down for one practice. We watched them last year in a couple ball games. The difference in this Texas team that I see tonight is the running game. They're more efficient at the running game. The offensive line's a little bit better inside. The running backs are two good running backs. They're better at the running game, Ron.
Just under 6 minutes until halftime. Colorado 14-7. His pass is caught. Pinckney bounces off a tackler, still on his feet, and finally get him down inside the 35, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 42.
Talking about the running game, and what makes the running game better is Lavelle Pinckney on the outside and Michael Adams. I mean, both these teams are mirror image teams. They both have outstanding receivers on the outside. Just watch him bull over. He's 235 pounds, and he's running over a 5'9", 185 senior corner, number 22, Dennis Collier.
That's the one thing that I mentioned off the top of the telecast, that Mike Hankwitz said scared him to death. because he looks like a tight end, but he runs a 4.3. And he said last year we saw the video of the Syracuse game where he caught one over the middle and he just outran everybody for 73 yards. And he said, that put fear in my heart. Draw play. Brown hit in the backfield, and Jack Bruner is there to stop this one for the Buffaloes. Going to be a loss of 5.
Jeff Bruner just got penetration up inside. Never allowed this play to develop because he was in the backfield right on the snap. Coming off the field, here comes the extra DBs into the game.
Second down, the line to make, just inside the 32-yard line. Under 5 minutes until halftime. They fake the counter, rolls it out. That is absolutely magnificent pursuit by Sam Rogers. I talked about size. He's 245, and you can see he just ran Morenz down.
Good play by Sam Rogers, 6'3", 245 pounds, but Shane Morenz may have come of age because he didn't put the ball up for grabs.
That's a good
point. Took a little bit of the sack. Sure, they lost some yardage, but they had 2nd and 19 anyway. So he made a mistake. Now he's back. He gets a chance on 3rd down.
Phillips continues to work in the ball game at tackle, and I'm looking on the sideline. Maybe we can get Adrian to check and see if Reamer has re-injured that ankle or why he is not in the ball game, because Brockemeyer has gone over to the other side. Now check it. Now Reamer's back in the ballgame. Goes up on top, and it is caught by McLemore, short of the 1st down at the 34.
He likes to throw the long passes, the deep comebacks, the takeoff passes, and he's very efficient at throwing the deep pass. Justin McLemore with a deep comeback, 18 yards. Now, this is a good decision. John Makovic on 4th down is going to go for it. 4th and 3, you're inside the 34-yard line. Good move. .401 on the clock, Ron. I like the decision.
4th down. And you see the line of scrimmage, and they have to make the 31.5-yard line.
Trying to draw them offside.
So let's take a timeout. 4:01 until halftime. Colorado 14-7. Right back.
You held my name. You held my body through the thick and thin. Before I let you lay a hand on me, I wanna know.
Ooh, just think of me and I'll run to you. Oh, yeah.
Hey, is that what I think it is? Yeah, it's my new Wagner Power Painter. Well, can you edge with it? Yeah, you can edge like this, or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do. Well, does it clean up easy? Yeah, it's quicker than you think. Why am I painting this by hand? Good question. Get a Wagner.
Hey, that sounds a little different. He wants all his friends to be out there doing things, to have fun. He's like a natural athlete. It's his dream house with a trampoline, skateboard ramp. He'll probably have a swimming pool there someday. Just couches all over the living room so people can just crash. Yeah, he's kind of larger than life in a way. No one else like Anton. Kind of psycho and kind of dangerous. He's just a really nice guy. That is a blatant lie.
Colorado by 7. And this season marks the 3rd year of the Toyota Leadership Award program on ESPN. The award salutes the college football players who excelled in the field and in the classroom and the community. And our Toyota Leadership Award winners this week from Texas, place kicker Scott Scheretti, a senior from La Habra, California, and from Colorado, wide receiver Charles Johnson, a senior from San Bernardino, California. Toyota proud to donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund.
Ron, whether they make this or not, John Makovic is showing confidence in his young quarterback.
It's a bootleg. Moranz has no place to go, and he'll be knocked down for a loss. Colorado football, and it's Greg Lindsay who was there to make the tackle. But the man also who turned the play in was Darius Holland, who stayed at home.
Busted play. I don't think it was supposed to be a bootleg. It was a run up inside. Looked like the counter, but they just misfired on the play. A bust all the way. You take a timeout, you set up a play call, and the worst thing possibly could happen, somebody goes the wrong way, because this is not the play you wanted to finish with. Ron Woolfolk, number 56, chasing him down. Greg Lindsay, number 23, to play. Now you have to deal with the Colorado offense again.
Yep, you cannot allow an extra base hit right here. And it is beginning to rain here in Boulder. Not in the forecast. Flag is down, and this is going to be procedure, I believe, against the Buffaloes.
Maybe delayed. No, I don't think it's delayed.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure. Offense. 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
First game problems, Ron. You have them all the time.
Look at that rain coming down, Michael.
Is that rain or snow?
No, it's rain. We had rain day before yesterday as at practice here late in the afternoon. It turned very cool. In fact, it's supposed to go into the mid-40s here tonight. But we didn't hear a lot about rain in the forecast for this evening. Stewart on 1st and 15. Gonna run it. And he goes down wisely. Reed is there to make the hit on him at the 42-yard line. Now, the toughest thing for him, Mike, is that wind is coming right into his face the way it's blowing now.
For the long ball, he should be able to throw everything up to 15, 20 yards, throw it on a rope. But the tough thing, if you're a defensive coordinator, you got everybody covered, and all of a sudden the quarterback pulls it down, and you have a Randall Cunningham-type player in Cordell Stewart.
Yep. You see that brace that he wears on his left hand? And it is not a problem for him receiving the snap from center. Warren breaks one tackle and then is hit by Tony Brackens and knocked down for maybe a loss of 1 in the play. Going to be a 3rd down, and the line to make is the 46. In fact, one of the reasons we really haven't talked about it is because Cordell said himself, he said, don't make anything of it. He said, I'm just hoping that the thing will hurry and mend. But he said, because it's soft leather, it's just like a glove, so it doesn't bother me as far as receiving the snap from center.
The only thing it should bother him on is if he runs an option to the left and pitches the ball with that hand. That may bother him a little bit, but throwing the ball shouldn't be a factor at all. Texas is gambling here on defense.
No backs again. Stewart, and he's got time, steps up and throws Fourier, his tight end. And you could see that they changed the formation as Warren came to the line of scrimmage. He went to the outside, and the tight end came off the ball.
Christian Fourier, number 86, very good hands for a tight end. Comes back to the football well. He's 6'4", 235-pound junior. It's tough to find tight ends in college football because they're all around the basketball courts as forwards. And it's just very difficult to find big tight ends that can run.
That's the 3rd catch for Fourier, 22 yards for him. Stewart, he's got a lot of room to run. Going to be wrapped up at the 42, holds on to the football. And we go under 2 minutes left until the halftime. That's Reed defensively.
Colorado has all 3 timeouts left, Ron, so they've got a lot of time to move this football with 1:50 and the clock moving. You get the chains moving if you get a first down. That stops it, so long time on the field for Colorado yet.
Garrett Ford brings in the play this time as Colorado continues to use that messenger system with the tight ends. Pressure again from Reed. Stewart gets by him, and Reed comes back and gets him again along with Johnson. Brian Johnson along with Tony Brackens. Boy, Stewart is so strong, and everybody was getting a good shot at him, but they couldn't knock him off his feet. And finally the Buffaloes will call timeout and stop the clock. Well, don't forget, coming up, our Delta Faucet halftime report. We'll update you on scores from around the country and also highlights of games going on this evening. Some mild surprises today, some near mild surprises. I thought Northwestern played extremely well. Notre Dame got the win there, but they look like an improved football team.
Well, if you're Gary Barnett, who's the head coach of Northwestern, you see your team getting a little better all the time. He's former assistant here to Bill McCartney. He knows how to win. He knows how to build a program. Bill McCartney hasn't always been the 9-win season. He was 1-10 one year, and they were talking about throwing him out of here. And then a little while later, he wins a national championship. So it takes time to build a program.
And also, how about South Carolina with their big win over Georgia today? They'll have those stories and other scores coming up on the Delta Faucet halftime report. Pressure up the middle. Stewart gets out of it. Drills the pass, and Johnson has it, and I believe he has the first down. He does at the 36-yard line.
Drilled that ball in there, but Joey Ellis was in good position, Ron, to knock the ball away. I think he just gave up on the ball a little bit too soon. He was there. You see him shaking his head. He knew that he had a chance at that ball. Cordell Stewart, with his good foot speed, able to get away from the rush, throws the ball on the run very accurately, and a good catch by Charles Johnson. A smart move to put the ball out front, try to get it past the sticks.
To stop the clock, 1:07 until halftime. Lamont Warren, 5, 10, had it off at 15. He's down to the 20-yard line, and the Buffaloes now threatening not to score a field goal, but to put a touchdown on the board.
I just heard Cordell Stewart make a call at the line of scrimmage opposite.
Yep.
And what he does, he goes up to the line of scrimmage with several plays. He'll go up with an 8 or 9, which is a trap play. Could be a trap play either way, and then make a call opposite. And then he has a pass play also. So a nice automatic by Cordell Stewart against the defensive front of Texas.
Joey Ellis, who is the injured player, number 27, a junior out of Tyler, Texas, comes out of the game. Warren, by the way, 54 yards on 11 carries for him. And the freshman, Bryant Westbrook, number 30, comes in replacing Ellis. See if they try to pick on him. Pass incomplete, looking for Johnson. And the clock now will show 45 ticks until halftime.
That was there. Cordell Stewart just was underthrowing the ball to Charles Johnson. It was open. Bill McCartney's passing his first test with the headsets on.
And let's go down to the field quickly and check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, one of the reasons the Buffalo offense is having so much success here, watch the line, the defensive line for Texas. They're looking lazy. They're catching. They're not coming off the ball.
Looking for the end zone. Caught. First and goal. Fourier. Boy, you talk about the big targets and when you can get them to turn around and face the football.
This is called a smash route. You have your tight end running a corner route, Christian Fourier, and you have Lamont Warren in the flat.
And wisely, Cordell Stewart just grounds the football, stops the clock, 36 seconds, and a flag is down.
Illegal procedure.
Wow. Bill McCartney not real excited about that. They're downing the ball to stop the clock, and he's going to wind up with a 5-yard mark off. And so instead of a first down and goal, it's from the 2-yard line. It'll be first from the 7.
That's the last thing you want on that play, because what you want to do is hurry up the line of scrimmage so your quarterback can just kill the clock. Here's where if you're Texas, you have to worry about Cordell Stewart carrying the football on a quarterback trap or quarterback draw.
Mike Winford Tubbs, 44. We showed you who had the severe laceration. His arm has come in at middle linebacker.
5 yards, repeat first down.
number 44. You can see him, and as you mentioned, he might be able to make a tackle, but hard to wrap up with that big cast on his arm.
Ron, looks like they're going to a tight split here with number 81, Michael Westbrook. A running formation. Let's keep our eye on Michael Westbrook.
And movement in the line, and they're going to wind up. That's Heath Irwin who came out of his stance. And it's going to be another 5-yard penalty. Seventh penalty against Colorado, 35 yards. Texas with 1 penalty.
Sometimes you'll get a defensive guy make a sound like the quarterback will call when you get him in that situation to try to draw him off. No.
Illegal procedure, offense.
Left guard Heath Irwin, number 63, just makes a move early. Bring Michael Westbrook in motion. That's probably what set him off in motion.
First and goal, line of scrimmage, the 11 as you look at All-American candidate Winford Tubbs. Fade route in the end zone, incomplete. Ellis covering. Westbrook is who they wanted, and Ellis had his body between Westbrook and the football.
It's a natural when you're 6'4" to throw the fade. Number 81, Michael Westbrook, you just get him on a corner who's 5'10", Joey Ellis, number 27, but the ball was thrown too far inside. If you're going to throw the fade, you throw it outside. You give Michael Westbrook a chance, like a jump ball in basketball, to go up for it.
Mike, he still almost came down with that football. As good a position as Ellis had on.
Now you try to work the tight ends a little bit.
Pass, sends it, Johnson, and that's a good open field tackle by Westbrook, the freshman at the 10-yard line.
Colorado needs to use a timeout.
So they stop the clock. The Buffaloes have 21 seconds left until halftime. They still have 1 timeout remaining, and they lead the ball game 14-7.
Ron, what you need to do here is you want to get Cordell Stewart involved some way on a bootleg or waggle or quarterback draw. John Elway's had so much success down the road here with the quarterback draw in this area of the football field for the Broncos.
Well, the football weekend starts at 7:40 on Thursday with the weekend kickoff show. Then immediately following 7:56, it's number 6 Syracuse against East Carolina. Syracuse with Heisman Trophy candidate Marvin Graves running the offense, hoping to chase after a national championship this season. It's 7:40 for the weekend kickoff show. 7:56 for number 6 Syracuse against East Carolina. Defense is on the field, but you can see Morantz is standing there still talking to his coach and talking situations on the sideline.
Never stop coaching. Coach every play, between plays, especially when you have a young quarterback.
By the way, coming up at halftime, we'll come back here to Boulder. Doug Looney, author of a book that has really stirred up the Midwest part of the country, writer for Sports Illustrated, will be the guest of Mike Gottfried and myself. So make sure that you join us for all the halftime show here on ESPN. To number 10, Colorado has got 2 touchdowns in this ball game only because number 10 has thrown 2 footballs that were just impossible for the defense to knock away when they had decent coverage.
No doubt. One of the problems you have here, I see the Texas players arguing a little bit with the officials. We'll get to this a little bit later about split crews and full crews from a different conference.
Berger has the extra point, and it's Colorado 21-7.
You see the Texas players argue with the officials, and what happens is when you have a full crew, this is a full Big 8 crew, and even if it's not a mistake, I don't like it. I'd like to see you have a split crew. I always like split crews because you get half of them from the Big 8, you get half of them from the Southwest Conference. Now, is it a catch? I can't see them there, but the two officials are right on it. They're conferring. But just the makeup when you come into a stadium knowing it's a full group of the other team just bothers me a little bit.
Let's check in with Adrian Karsten.
Ron, here's the situation. The umpire, J.C. Leinbach, who was behind the receiver, had to convince the linesman, Bill Spikema, that the catch was good. Now, remember, the umpire never saw the ball go into the hands or hit the ground. He convinced the man who had the best angle.
Let's look at it from up top.
Let's take a look at the ball. Yeah, it's tough to tell from that angle. I'm not going to say whether it's good or not because it's just tough to say whether he trapped it on the ground or not. But I still like split crews. And I know they want to outlaw them. Before, Bill McCartney was standing out there on the field getting ready for the kickoff. Now he's coaching the quarterbacks every play.
21-7 with 15 seconds left until halftime. Jackson watches this one sail over his head. So Shea Moran comes trotting back on the field. Longhorns are down by 14 points, and they have amassed over 300 yards in this first half of play. Okay, beg your pardon, 278, the loss on that last play.
Ron, Texas just run the ball and go to the locker room. Get organized for the second half.
Bill Brown hit by Woolfolk as he crosses the 25-yard line, and that should be the final play of this first half. So that's the end of the first half with our score. Colorado 21, Texas 7. Stay tuned for the Delta Faucet. Now, Scott Chiaretti will kick it off in the 35, and it's hard to tell if he's kicking with the wind or against it the way it has been swirling in the stadium. James Kidd, number 2, a freshman redshirt out of Elk Grove, California, is back in a deep safety for the Buffaloes. 5 yards deep, and he will not return it.
Let's take a look at Cordell Stewart. He's thrown 13 out of 20 for 155 yards, but where he's hurting Texas is in the flat area up to 15 yards. He's got 2 throws over 15 yards in the right corner, but he's hurting them both flats for 3 touchdowns.
192 yards, Mike. That's 65% of Colorado's offense. And it's Warren who will open the second half as Colorado goes on the ground. And for a couple, James Lane makes the hit. What about rushing, Mike?
On the left side of the line is where they're making the most hay. As you see here, 8 carries and 7 carries. There 15 times they went to the left side. But where the most yardage has been gained is over the right guard and right tackle. 23 carries, 142 yards.
Show you all the halftime stats in just a moment. Second down, Stewart zings it, Westbrook. Ellis had an arm up, but Westbrook was right there to bring it in.
What made this play, Ron, was the fake of Cordell Stewart. You see Michael Westbrook, number 81, working against Joey Ellis, number 27. They try to reroute him, but he's able to miss that tag by number 27 and then get back in his route. So number 27 has to make contact. Joey Ellis against Michael Westbrook. Can't let him go free like that.
Westbrook now with 4 catches, 57 yards, and he does have a touchdown. Stewart gets by him in a pass. Waiting for a signal. They say it's a catch by Westbrook at the 50.
Chadsey High School, Michael Westbrook. 6'4". They put a lot of good players out in Detroit. Charles Spann, the high school coach, and you see number 81, he just curls. Now, Joey Ellis is in good shape again, but he just delays too long, Ron, to make the play. He's going to be able to come around with his right hand to deflect that ball. But the problem for Joey Ellis is he's 5'10", 180, and the 6'4" frame of Michael Westbrook makes it difficult to work with him.
Yeah, we have seen some mismatches both ways with receiver and secondary folks tonight. Lane with pressure up the middle. That pass is overthrown as Garrett Ford is the man that he wanted. And now a flag has come down. Back around the quarterback. Thrown by the referee.
Offense, 10 yards, repeat, second down.
Ron, I'm sure if you're up in the press box, you're going to say, hey, let's look at this. We've got Lamont Warren, who's a bona fide receiver, versus a linebacker, 6'2", 230. Now watch him come free on the outside. Now, if I'm coaching upstairs, I call right down to Bill McCartney and say, hey, when we go to that formation and they put Robert Reed, a linebacker, on Lamont Warren, maybe we can take it to the house.
You remember they scored on a similar play against Texas in Austin 3 years ago. In fact, that was Hemingway. This is Warren, who will go for a couple because the linebacker just turned him loose, and Hemingway was so all alone. I remember the comment being made that Ernest Hemingway could have scored on that play. He would just look like the first guy out to the workout.
Is he still alive?
Well, he still could have scored. He was so open.
Leon Fuller's done a nice job defensively. The touchdown before half was a backbreaker, but his team has to respond in this first series of the third quarter.
Third down. The line to make is the 47. It's the 47 of Texas. Stewart up on top again. Johnson couldn't hold on. Ellis was trying to cover him, but he had a goodly part of the football and then dropped it.
Joey Ellis is going to remember this night because he is working against two future pro wide receivers. And Joey Ellis is in pretty good shape again, bumping Charles Johnson, but that ball could have been caught. We'll get another look at Michael Adams now to return this punt.
I better know which way he runs.
Forward this time.
Berger to punt. Has come down, and Mike, that's a 39-yard kick, and when you see a replay of what happened, Brian Howard ran into him, and he caught the kicker to keep him from going down, and then the referee threw the flag.
5-yard penalty, running into the kicker.
It's a contact sport. Number 19, Brian Howard. Oops,
oh, give me
I got you.
Maybe an Emmy, but not a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah. Texas going to get the football.
(21-7). Colorado leads. 12:35 left to play, third quarter. First time that we will see Texas on offense in the second half. You can see the back of the head of Cleve Bryant, who is the receivers coach on this team, former head coach for Ohio University, went to Illinois with John Mackovic, then came to Texas. And boy, he is excited about these young wide receivers. And in the first 30 minutes of play, you can see why.
He's got a nice coaching job here at Texas with those two wide receivers.
On the sweep, Jackson close to 10 yards in the play. Check it, Phil Brown, 29 rather than 39.
Shea Morenz has had some success, 12 out of 20 for 190 yards, but what's killed him is the 2 interceptions. He's had some success in both flat areas, but where he's done a nice job is the deep ball. He's 3 out of 7 and the deep throws. Both quarterbacks working outside more tonight than in routes.
Running play again. This time it's Curtis Jackson. Shannon Clavel will stop him, and let's see what kind of spot he gets. First down, Texas.
The success of the rushing game when you gain 115 yards. Look here, Ron. 12 carries for only 16 yards inside the tackles. But outside, they're making a little bit more hay. 99 yards on 13 carries.
Brown all alone. Finally stopped after a gain of 15, and they faked the counter tray and tossed it out to Brown, who was all alone.
Number 29, Phil Brown's going to sneak out of the backfield here, but a good fake, but Shea Morenz is able to get redirected quickly and throw the ball to Phil Brown in the flat. The blitz was on, man coverage, a good call by Shea Morenz.
First half stats, Colorado had 15 first downs, Texas 14 in total yardage. The Buffaloes 297, the Longhorns 285. But glaring on the stats, 4 turnovers by Texas.
That's been the difference.
Woolfolk gets by him deep over the middle, and Pinckney had broken open for a second, but it was being closed on quickly by Dwayne Davis. And let's go down to Adrian Karsten.
What we're seeing is the result of the adjustments made offensively in the Longhorn locker room at halftime. They're going to try and hit Pinckney on these shorter passes, 8 to 12 yards. Now, defensively, they're really concerned because Colorado now becomes unpredictable. They're running and passing equally well. On Colorado's defense, watch for Ron Woolfolk getting down a 3-point stance and coming on the blitz, also more stemming from the tackles.
Ron, that won't show up in statistics in the last play, but Ron Woolfolk was the person that stopped that play because of his pass rush.
Yep. Screen, and Phil Brown is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Hakes trying to block, but Sammy Rogers was the guy who was just all over him, number 90. And Brian Diet was bringing the pressure for the inside.
When I was out here 2 weeks ago and watched practice, Brian Diet, number 89, he has had problems gaining weight and maintaining weight, and the reason is he's 6'6", but he does everything 100 miles an hour. He just is one of those guys that just plays hard every play.
Line to make the 40. Drills it, and incomplete. Double coverage, and still almost had a chance to catch it, as Adams went parallel to the ground.
They like those deep comeback routes. Almost completed that one against good coverage, like you say, Ron. Dwayne Davis, number 21, the free safety, was in pretty good position.
Wayne Bosick, second punt of the night, his first 34 yards. Interesting when you're down in the ball game 21-7 and you've only had to punt 1 time and a half. Hudson for the fair catch. Ball knocked away, and Malone, what a non-thinking mistake. You know, you can't hit the man as he's waiting to catch the football before it's there. Bad as a senior, and he knows better than that.
You tell your punt team when you're running down the field, you locate right away the punt returner. If you see the hands up, get away. He's looking for the ball. He's making a mistake here. He should have looked to the receiver and got away from him.
So we'll take a break. 10:47 left in the third. Colorado by 14.
All right, a great man once said, winning, gentlemen, isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Look, a grasshopper.
I formation, 34 sweep on 2. Got it? Just give the ball to Matt. Tell him to run towards Dad. Got it?
It starts every September with teams like the Turkey Creek Hawks, the Bronx Eagles, and the Newport Richie Giants. On fields where dads aren't only coaches, and oak trees mark the end zones. And a good day isn't determined by if you win or lose, but where you go after the game. So McDonald's would like to salute the players, the coaches, the families, everyone who'll help make this season a perfect season.
Can we go to McDonald's now, Coach?
After the game, Lenny. This is only halftime. Now go sit down.
A safari rarely lasts longer than a few weeks, unless it's a safari maintained with genuine AC oil filters, because over hill, dale, and wadi, no other filter can track down, trap, and capture more dirt. So, AC oil filters keep your engine in the hunt for a longer life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through September 30th, save up to $11.60 on AC spark plugs and filters.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. And by McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. We are back in Boulder, Colorado. 14-point lead by the Buffaloes and a 15-yard penalty for Malone not allowing the Colorado player to catch the football. A very costly error, as Colorado will get good field position at the 35. Lamont Warren gets by one tackler, breaks it out. Ellis will wrap him up after a gain of 8.
Just good second effort by Lamont Warren. He's a player who ran track here last year and really felt like it helped him stride-wise, but he just runs away from defenders inside. Joey Ellis, again, a busy corner tonight, makes the tackle.
You know, the other thing about Lamont Warren, he's finally healthy, Mike. He's had so many nicks and bruises here, but the track and being healthy help. But nothing's going to help when you don't get blocking. And James Lane, 96, the first man to step up into the hole and to make the hit. Also, number 1, Norman Watkins was there to help wrap him up. But the combination of Lamont Warren and James Hill certainly gives Bill McCartney and his offensive coaches a nice problem to have. Looking for Westbrook that time. Pass thrown incomplete. So it'll be 4th down. Colorado will have to kick it away. I know you've been listening for scores, but others that have come in, that one that gets your attention as far as the Southwest Conference team is Fresno State, 33-14 over Baylor in the 3rd. And what was the other one here, Michael? We were looking at Tennessee 50-0 in the 3rd period over Louisiana Tech.
Big lead of Memphis State, 38-14 over Mississippi State.
The ball, and he'll pay for that at the 13. And let's go to the studio and Mike Tirico.
Ron, wild and wacky in the whack in Albuquerque. John Walsh back to pass, finds Heimu Haimuli over the middle. He's hit. He fumbles it right to Kaipo McGuire for the touchdown. Easiest one he'll ever get. BYU didn't make the point. The lead, 2014. The officials discussed it, and I told you it was a touchdown already. So it's a touchdown. 2014 at the break in Albuquerque. Ron?
Okay. Mike, the only thing that could have brought it back if it had been 4th down, he would have had to recover that.
It's an alphabet touchdown there, all those names and letters in that. Oh, Mike Tirico with a great job there.
Holmes, he's going to be wrapped up after a gain of maybe 1, and now here comes a late flag in. Woolfolk, one of the first men to hit him.
Ron, when you miss practice like Michael Adams, when you get injured and you miss some practice, I think he's suffered back there as a punt returner tonight. Made the mistake, ran backwards, fumbled the last kick. When you miss practice, it shows on Saturday night.
Face mask, 5 yards on the defense, 5 yards from the end of the run.
So it'll be a first down and about 5. One of the things that the Texas coaches mentioned after their short walkthrough yesterday was the fact that they had 12 straight days of workouts in over 100 degrees, and that with the prospect of it being 50 degrees cooler up here tonight, that they had a tough time getting the kids up off the field yesterday.
The altitude plays a factor here.
Joe Brown, blocker in front, and he'll be caught from behind. It's Sam Rogers. And Rogers has displayed some very good speed and mobility tonight for a man that weighs very close to 250 pounds. Left in the third quarter. Colorado 21-7. A good collision at the line of scrimmage, and Gerald Crawford hit with a good lick. Kerry Hicks came up and hit the 243-pounder, and the collision was a loss of 1.
Well, the graphic that we showed just a little while ago, inside, Colorado has controlled the line of scrimmage. Where Texas has made some hay is outside. Mike Hankwitz, defensive coordinator, with the signals.
Mike Hankwitz was a happy man on Thursday. He had to leave his coordinators meeting, and at 9:09 on Thursday evening, his son Michael was born, their first son. Mother and son are doing well. The Rams over the middle. Phil Brown, his running back. He was in a huge seam right there for the first down. Stopped at the 34, and that's a Texas first down.
They showed a picture of a couple players the other day of the baby screaming, and they said it reminds us of his dad all week. He's usually a mild-mannered coach, but waiting on the baby to arrive, he just got kind of where he was yelling at the players all week.
Mike, it would appear as the scores are coming in on the lower part of the screen that Texas Tech, about the only club in the Southwest Conference that is headed for a victory in this opening weekend. Up on top, looking for Pinckney, and that one's overthrown. Is SC winning huge over the Houston Cougars?
Well, Texas Tech has a fine team. Robert Hall at quarterback, and Lloyd Hill, who may be one of the best receivers in the country.
He is.
I think they have a date here. I believe it's next week. With that team that scored 76 points. I believe they play Nebraska here in the next week or so.
Yep, they do.
So their offense will get a real good test. I like Nebraska's football team. I think they got a great shot of winning the national title this year with Tom Osborne and the football team he has, and of course the schedule they have.
Walker with the ball. Squirms through a small opening. He's to the 39. And it'll bring up a third down. Johnson, along with Chris Hudson, combining on the stop. Was trying to cover on him, and Dennis Collier is 5'9". That's got to be the matchup that Texas would look for, and Collier was trying to wrestle him, and you're going to lose that match every time.
Lavelle Pinckney used his hands a little bit here getting open. He gets tied up a little bit. There you see him push a little bit off, but he's wide open, and you're right, Ron, it's a mismatch. 6'5", 235, 5'9", 190. Greg Brown, the defensive backfield coach, likes it better when he has a safety helping on Lavelle Pinckney.
Go up on top of the other side, looking for McLemore, and it's overthrown, and McLemore had beaten his man as Hudson had gotten turned around.
This young quarterback's going to give a lot of happy days to Texas fans. Loves to throw the long pass.
The story on him, he got to play briefly in 2 games last year, then injured an ankle in a non-football injury. Messed up ligaments in his ankle, and Mike, the season was over. And since he had played so little, he was given a medical exemption for that man. .6:13 left in the 3rd quarter. Colorado by 14. Curtis Jackson turns the corner, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. So again, Texas will be scrimmaging with a 3rd down, this time at about 4. And Mike, this is like trying to make a living off 6-foot par putts.
Just got to go around. You have to stay with it though. Around 6:05. You see the huddle here. John Mackovic has Paul Brown's huddle. John Mackovic's from Barberton, Ohio. Of course, Paul Brown coached the Cleveland Browns. In respect to Paul Brown, he uses that huddle. In respect to Tom Landry, he uses the shotgun.
Pass is caught by Adams. Enough for the Texas first down at the 29-yard line. As Dwayne Davis, the free safety, came over and made the hit. And from the look on the face right there of Chris Hudson, I think Colorado's backs are a little winded right now. Wouldn't you say?
They look a little tired. In the first game, you're never sure how many plays a player can play. This is a flat route, and you're going to see the coverage come off on Colorado. But Mike Adams, number 83, will break to the flat. Now the safety's coming up, and Chris Hudson's close to him, but that ball was right on the money, and he didn't just catch that ball. He snatched it out of the air, Mike Adams.
Blitz is on. He just throws this one away. And let's go down to Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, run up until that play. The guard center guard combination of Texas doing a heck of a job picking up the stemming and those blitzing efforts from Colorado. John Elmore, Trent Ellery, and Dan Neal up front. Young group of guys for Texas doing a heck of a job here in the second half.
All right, Adrian. They have just under 6 to play in this 3rd quarter. As the Longhorns now in total offense have 361 yards. This is the 12th play of the drive. And they come with the delay, and the draw play almost breaks it. Down to the 25 as Phil Brown. You could see Woolfolk. Well, they're just turning him loose on every play. Ted Johnson had to make the stop for the Buffaloes. Donnell Liamidi, number 3, a sophomore out of American Samoa.
Replaces a linebacker, so you've got your 5-6 DBs in the game.
Donnell was on offense last year. They switched him over to the defensive side. And Bill McCartney thinks he might help the Buffaloes on that side of the football. Got a man. Jackson hit from behind, and with his cut back upfield, yeah, he's going to have the first down. Inside the 15 to the 14. Teddy Johnson along with Dwayne Davis on the stop.
One of the questions when you're a defensive coordinator that you have about an opposing quarterback that you don't have a lot of film on is how can he run with the football? If I'm going to blitz him, can he get away from the blitz? Shea Moran's bought enough time there because he was able to scramble to the right to let that play develop and Curtis Jackson to come open. Sure, Mike Hankwitz knows when he blitzes Shea Moran's that it's a little difficult. He may have to come from the outside a little bit more on him.
Pitch to Pinckney, and the reverse is hit for a loss. Sam Rogers has been everywhere on defense tonight. Number 90.
Excellent defensive call by Mike Hankwitz. It wasn't the fact that he was in the right spot. He was on the blitz coming from the outside, but he recognized it right away. Mike Hankwitz, a very confident defensive coordinator, coached at Western Michigan University, has Sam Rogers in a perfect place. You see him coming from the outside to greet Lavelle Pinckney on the end around, the reverse.
zone, knocked away. Nice defense by Dennis Collier. Adams is the guy he wanted. That happened right in front of the student section. That's the reason for the big roar, as the students who are not, they're not sitting there, standing, and they gave him a rousing ovation.
You're going to see the defensive front of Colorado now start to make some moves in the defensive line to get free. Watch the right defensive tackle go left, and then the crisscross, just trying to get free to put pressure on Shea Morenz.
And now a timeout has been called by Colorado. So let's take it with them. 3:57 left in the third. Buffaloes by a couple of touchdowns.
Some mornings start out good. Alonzo morning started out great. And if this keeps up, all kinds of things may happen. They'll retire his number. His home will become a shrine. They'll immortalize his Nikes, not to mention the Foot Locker where he gets them. So before all that happens,
get a pair of your own.
The new Nike basketball shoes are now at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Here comes Jim, in for a pit.
Jim, backyard's next.
Hey, no duels. Non-alcohol, 70 calories. Perfect. After all, the competition is pretty stiff out here.
When you want the refreshing taste of beer without the alcohol, think O'Doul's. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer.
A small touch, a certain look. It's the little things that are worth the most. Which is why every Delta faucet gives you more than you'd ever expect for the money. Giving you the money for those things you can't even put a value on. Delta, the way water is brought to life.
Well, what you're looking at, the view of today's game, courtesy of G.E. Johnson Construction Company, Colorado's contractor of choice, from their tower crane on the construction site of CU's new research building, and that's where one of our cameras is located. There's the look right there.
All those chickens left up there. They're gone. That wind came up. They were out of there.
I don't blame them. More sits than we thought.
And the cameraman's name's Gunner, so you'd expect a gunner to be up there.
Texas has converted 3 third-down situations on this drive. They need the 3-yard line. Hit, ball is loose. That's going to be an incomplete pass. No whistle has blown. It's got to be an incomplete pass. His arm was going forward, but guess who it was? If I'm going to vote on an MVP on the defensive side of the football, number 90 is going to get a real high mark from my side.
Well, what happens when you have somebody on the outside that's an All-American candidate, draws 2 blockers, Sam Rogers is going to get singled on the other side. Number 96-3 is able to beat the block and make the tackle. Real late call by the referee.
But I think what happened, Mike, I think back as the referee stands behind the offense, I think he was signaling incomplete, but the ball was downfield and no one could see that. Now it's going to be Chiaretti who will attempt the field goal, and this will be from 44 yards away. Got the distance, and he's no good. Off to the left. So let's take a break. 3:46 left in the third. Colorado 21, Texas 7.
If you're getting bored with your hair, you should try Topsy Tail, the incredible hair fashion tool that creates exciting new hairstyles in seconds. It's so easy. If you can make a ponytail, you can Topsy Tail. Simply place the topsy tail in the center of the ponytail, thread hair through the loop, and pull for a beautiful new look. And with the same basic steps, you can create dozens of dazzling styles for every occasion in no time. It's all right here in the Glamour Guide. Topsy tail works on any hair type. Kids love topsy tail too. School time, playtime, anytime. It's even great for shoulder length hair. Now for less than the cost of one visit to the hair salon, you can order topsy tail, complete with Glamour Guide for just $12.95. Order now and we'll also send you secrets to French braiding. Create a whole new look and a whole new you. Order topsy tail today.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-825-9494. Sorry, no CODs. Call 1-800-825-9494 or send just $12.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. Credit card users call now 1-800-825-9494.
And see all the NFL action every Sunday. Sit back. Let us do the work. ESPN NFL Primetime. We'll find every bone-crushing hit, search out every key play, and mix insight from our pros into television's fastest hour of football. NFL Primetime. Sunday night at 7 Eastern, only on ESPN.
Well, you can see Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, talking with Sam Rogers, who has been a star tonight.
Knowing he's going to play that well, he named his son Sam.
Time of possession well in the favor of Texas in the third quarter, but no points. Colorado defense is stiffing when they had to. That is a catch behind Fourier, and he had that one. Stopped at the 46. And let's go to Mike Tirico.
Ron, talk about getting off the first tee well. Tailor-made for Arizona. First play of the season. Carey Taylor on the kickoff, bust free, going towards the goal line. Chris Fowler picked Arizona to win the Pac-10. Good start, huh? They get down to the 1. Antoine Carter put it in.
This running play, Warren, is going to be wrapped up in the backfield by James Lane. He'll stop him for a loss.
Colorado's done a nice job recruiting, and when you have talent and you have only one football, you have to make some decisions. This is Coy Detmer, number 14. Dad's a high school coach out of Mission, Texas. Last year, they were going to redshirt Coy Detmer. Cordell Stewart got hurt. They threw him into action, and he played the season and did very well. This year, he's going to redshirt. He told Coach McCartney, he says, I want to get stronger in the offseason during the season, off-season, while I'm redshirting, and I want to work on my academics. So those are his goals this season.
You can see the clipboard. He's charting the offense. Fourier, they reverse the pass, and the big tight end is inside the 45 down to the 43. And that, depending on, well, let's see where they're going to spot him down. It's close to a Colorado first down.
Weapons, weapons, weapons. I'm telling you, they got two guys on the outside that can catch a football. They got a tailback and run and catch. They got Christian Fourier, a tight end, 6'3", 235. I mean, you have to decide what you want to defend against this bunch.
Well, Fourier now 7 catches for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Just short, so third down. Cordell Stewart, Jr., Marrero, Louisiana. And the thing is, you see his numbers on the night that the coaches got so excited about when he was younger was how he stood in under the pressure with big bodies flying all around him. Didn't seem to bother him. And Bill McCartney said at that moment, after the first couple of scrimmages, he said, I went into the coaches meeting and said, boys, did you see what I saw today? We got a good one.
Option quarterback in high school.
Colorado is 5 of 11 on third down conversions. And with Stewart taking it straight ahead, he'll have that one. Now let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, one of the reasons Christian Fourier is having so much success tonight, he's got great hands. He does what he calls burnout. When he was a kid with his brother, he'd get bored, they'd go outside, they'd whip the ball at each other about 10, 20 yards apart. Right now, he and Michael Westbrook call themselves the Burnout Brothers. Look at this. Chucking the ball at each other, helmet off. They say it's a great way to improve your reception. It's also a good way to go to the dentist.
That's from inside 10 yards if they do that.
Good drill because it makes you concentrate on the football.
Well, look how far the guards are off the play this time, Mike.
That's the technique Elliot Uselak brought from Michigan.
Stewart zings it too high, looking for Johnson. About to go under 2 minutes left in this third quarter. There's been a lot of throwing in this football game, and Mike, we are headed for 3 hours and not done with the third quarter. That is one thing that I would love to see the Rules Committee address. I love the wide open style, but college football is not meant for 4-hour football.
No, I'm enjoying it. I don't have anything else to do.
Oh, I've enjoyed it too, but don't you agree?
Yeah, I would like to get speeded up a little bit, but it's a great game.
Westbrook could not hold on that time. Had Reed and also Westbrook around him.
When you run a 2 tight end offense, one time a 1 tight end will release and go on the route. Now you have Christian Fourier blocking on Norman Watkins, number 1. Look how good a job he does on pass protection. He's an all-around tight end. Norman Watkins, I've read an article about him in Austin that he ballooned up because he called pizza places every night for a month. He said when he called, they knew his voice. He said there's only 2 people in Austin don't have to tell who they are when you order pizza, you and him.
Pressure from the backside, and this time Stewart's going to have to eat the football. Chris Carter, who is another high school freshman, he's out of Tyler, number 16, was coming for the outside along with Robert Reed.
Finish that on Watkins. You know what he said he looks for in a pizza company?
No.
Not how good the pizza is, how fast they can get it to him.
Clock is running now with 1:49 and 1:48 to play in the third as Michael Adams goes back deep, and Berger this time will have an opportunity to pooch kick it with the line of scrimmage at the 45. Adams runs away from it, and this one is going to be touched dead. A couple of beanbags have come down, but the whistle hadn't blown. And they're finally going to say it's dead just short of the 20-yard line. Well, tomorrow at noon, it's the season premiere, the Emmy Award-winning NFL Game Day. Game Day will look at the Dallas struggle to repeat, also the Jeff George controversy. And Chris Berman will take a humorous look at the free agent shuffle. And it's 7 o'clock, NFL Prime Time, with in-depth highlights and analysis of each of the day's games. So start your football Sunday with Game Day, and then cap it off with Prime Time tomorrow, right here on ESPN.
Ron, when I think of Texas, or I see those Longhorns, I think of Darrell Royal, the great coach of Texas, and Tom Landry. I mean, those two automatically come to mind.
You know, and a lot of people, it's interesting, don't realize that Tom Landry played his college football at Texas. In fact, we'll show you a picture here in just a minute. Take a look at this photo right here. 1948. Tom Landry was a defensive back. And look at this action picture against SMU. About to make the tackle on a Heisman Trophy winner. That's Doak Walker, number 37.
Were you doing that game?
No, I came the year later. Mackovic, of course, coached under Tom Landry, but Landry had nothing to do with Mackovic coming to Texas.
That's interesting.
Short look in, and Adams couldn't get up to take that one. And you can see 23 Greg Lindsey was staying at home to make the hit. But the dangerous thing about trying to make the big hit, if the man makes the catch and makes one sidestep, it's track meet time.
A little too high for Mike Adams that time. A little bit out of his reach. Now's where Phil Brown becomes a factor. Total yards, Texas 366 yards, Colorado 362, but turnovers have done them in to this point.
Lorenz 18 of 34, 265 and 2 interceptions. Again, short drop. The ball is tipped and it's going to be picked off. Chris Hudson. Touchdown. So the story will read, the 5th Texas turnover led to 20, maybe 21 Colorado points. Berger knocks it home.
Chris Hudson, number 47, did a great job of reading this route and breaking on the throw. Number 47 is going to break on the football, make the interception. He's reading this play all the way. He's there and tips the ball, then catches it, brings it in, and puts 7 more on the board for the Buffaloes. Boy, he read that route perfectly.
Did he ever? He played possum until the very last moment. Made the tip and then made his own interception.
Shea Moran's having a tough night for John Makovic. And I'm telling you, if you're a Texas fan, just be patient. This guy's going to bring you a lot of happy moments. Watch Shea Moran's number 12 as he looks to where he's going to throw. There's no look off here. It's just a quick throw. But the job was done by Chris Hudson. Shea Moran's knows right away. The band director is getting ready to hit that pencil for the fight song.
23 ticks left on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Colorado now 28-7. The 35 to the 37-yard line. That's 24 yards on the return. Another look at Fulton Field from up on our crane.
They're back, huh?
Yeah, beautiful shot looking back into downtown Boulder. You can see only 18 ticks left on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Puts the head down and takes it out across the 45, and that'll be the last play of the 3rd. Hudson, who just scored, is out there to make the tackle.
Ron, one reason that Texas shifts all the time is I just heard the Colorado defensive linebackers, when they went to split backs, they were yelling split backs. And the reason Texas shifts is because at the last second they want to give you their backfield set, because when they're in the eye, they're a heavy run football team. When they're in the split backs, they're a heavy passing team. And they want to give you the last possible second to make an automatic call to their formation.
Pinckney now 5 catches, 85 yards. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. So let's take a break. We head for the final 15 minutes. Bill McCartney's club on top by 21.
Most trackers can follow the trail only as long as the weather holds out. Unless it's a tracker spurred on with genuine AC spark plugs. AC plugs fire faster than lightning for performance so smooth, even the thunder claps. And that'll keep your engine on the trail to a longer life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through September 30th, save up to $11.60 on AC spark plugs and filters.
Oh. Hi there. See if we can get you guys excited today.
Football fans, what's it mean to be extreme? Now, Sports Illustrated pushes it to the limit with an intense new video, NFL Extreme. It's football with an attitude. Your video's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get inside the action and excitement of sports every week. With every sentence, every picture, you'll get into the heart-pounding frenzy of football all season long. Call now, and you'll also get an extreme close-up look at the NFL. Your free NFL Extreme video takes you down on the field with the fastest and the fiercest. Find out what it's like to go over the middle and over the edge. From top to bottom, NFL Extreme takes no prisoners, and it comes with 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the 2 big football preview issues for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price.
That's what you wait your entire adult life for, Raider.
Call now, and we'll also give you the NFL Video Yearbook of your favorite team, free with your paid subscription.
I like this kind of party, baby.
Your team video takes you into the trenches for an action-packed review of 92 and a look ahead to 93. Pick any one of the 2018 videos. It's your choice, free from Sports Illustrated. The best way to get into the action for more than 24 million readers every week.
Let's show them how it starts.
Call now and get into a season of football from a different angle with Sports Illustrated. And your 2 free videos, NFL Extreme and the team video of your choice. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Find out what it means to be extreme. Then, find out why nobody's into sports like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
We're back in Boulder, 28-7. Colorado in control of this one. And if you're John Makovic, a lot can be learned in this 4th quarter. You're not out of the ball game, realistically as far as numbers, but you got to stop turning it over. Moran's got Pinckney at the 35, and now he turns on the burst to speed down the sideline. And Pinckney will score. 53 yards, and that's just what their defensive coordinator tried to tell him. Don't be fooled by his size. He'll outrun you when he catches the football.
We were talking about books at halftime. You're seeing a book being written here tonight, The Making of a Quarterback, The Education of a Quarterback. Shea Moran's. LaBelle Pinckney, number 80 on an in route against Chris Hudson. He's playing zone coverage, so he turns him over to the safety, number 21, Dwayne Davis. But here's where the speed factor. They're underestimating the speed of LaBelle Pinckney. 6'5", 235. They're thinking, hey, he's a big horse, but that big horse can run. He's a Kentucky Derby type horse.
And, you know, the youngster had a troubled youth. In fact, we'll talk more about it after the extra point here by Scheretti, the attempt. Knocks it home. In fact, he had a lot of problems growing up. Pinckney said that during his high school days, he got guidance from his high school coach, Willie Stewart, to really help turn things around for him.
I feel that you have talent, you know, to play ball, you know, and I would like for you to give yourself a chance. And he was telling me, you know, the things that I was doing, but, you know, hanging out late and doing crazy things like that. There was only 2 ways I can go, and that was with my hands across my chest or behind my back. And I, you know, really didn't want to go either one of those ways, so, you know, I chose to go the correct way.
And, of course, what he means is either his hands behind his back in handcuffs or in front of him because he wouldn't be alive. And he told us in that interview yesterday, Mike, I thought it was really interesting. I said, are you saying that athletics saved your life? And he said, beyond the shadow of a doubt. He said, for all the people that try to find bad things about athletics, he said, athletics literally has saved my life.
When you talk about the negatives of athletics, and people dwell on them sometimes, but the relationships that coaches, male and female, have on their athletes, or teachers for that matter. You're seeing a direct example, LaBelle Pinckney, of a high school coach at Anacostia High School, of what that meant to him. And it's great to see the player, or hear the player say that. One of the greatest things when you've coached is to get the letters from the former players. I mean, it's just great.
You look at that man right there, from a high to a low, and I have a feeling that Mike Hankwitz probably said to him, maybe we got a little passive and it cost us 6 points.
Not his fault, though, Ron. He turned it over to the safety. They were in zone coverage. They just outran the zone.
Scheretti's kick, and this one to the back of the end zone. And let's go to Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us?
Coming next to Boulder, Ron, Baylor. And look at the Bears here. Brandel Jackson takes the handoff from J.J. Joe, spinning, breaking tackles. He'll go 60 yards. He will step out of bounds. John Henry put in his second touchdown. Baylor trailing Fresno. Fresno knocking on the door right now, early 4th.
People underrate that Fresno ball club. Jim Sweeney, of course, they beat Southern Cal last year in the bowl game.
In fact, beat them convincingly.
The Rodney Dangerfield League, the WAC.
two-back set this time, and Lamont Warren gets a block, turns the corner, has 5, has 10, and count him out of bounds after a gain of 14 yards. Jimmy Saxton knocked him out of bounds. Jimmy playing safety, came to Texas as a quarterback, and if the name is familiar, yes, it was his daddy, James Saxton, who was an All-American running back for the Texas Longhorns.
Good blocking on that play. Keith Irwin, number 63, James Hill, number 33, with 2 key blocks.
Mike, a while ago you talked about weapons, 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 and you look at what Bill McCartney, now that you have seen Correa, the tight end, and those 2 wide receivers, plus Stewart and these running backs. I mean, that's really a nightmare for an defensive coordinator. You just got so many weapons that you've got to try to control.
You have to decide how you want to take the poison. You want to take the sword in the chest. You want to slow death or get it fast. But the way you beat Colorado is you have to match up with your 7 versus their offensive line, so you can let your 4 deep play secondary against those 2 receivers and the tight end. You got 7 guys good enough to play that run. That's what you need to do to beat them.
That's right. Leon Fuller seen him more than he would like. He was the head coach at Colorado State, besides facing off against them at Texas. Warren bounces off a solid tackle and then picks up 4 more yards. Let's go down to Adrian Karsten.
Ron, seeing some success offensively now for the Buffaloes with their running game. Elliott Uselak came in here in these days with a bigger, stronger offensive lineman, 300-pounder, says, wrong. We're going smaller, stronger, faster athlete. Along with E.J. Doc Price, new strength and conditioning coach, he said, look, this is just what the doctor ordered. Look at Stoltenberg, the center, drops 20 pounds. Brunner, nose tackle, down 14. These guys are literally faster because they are smaller but stronger.
Very interesting. And working in this opening ball game. Lamont Warren behind his blockers will have the first down on the left side, I believe, at the 45-yard line. We go under 14 to play. Colorado 28-14 over Texas, and it's Winford Tubbs who was there to wrap up the ball carrier.
You see Winford Tubbs playing with that club-like contraption he's got on his right hand. The only problem when you wear something like that, you see how they've got his wrist there, you can't wrap up, so somebody can run through a tackle. He has to make sure with his left hand that he's able to try to wrap up on him. That's the other club. They're selling that one. This is the other one.
Stewart, boy, does he zing that one complete. Warren, he got him out of the backfield, and Mike, I don't think that ball went 10 yards in the air. That's how much of a line drive he threw, and threw it for 25 yards.
That's that formation again where they shift Lamont Warren out, and you get him against the linebacker, number 40, Robert Reed. It's a mismatch. They have it anytime they want it.
Thomas Baskin comes into the lineup, junior out of Riverside, California, number 90. He's converted from tight end.
Here it goes again, Ron. Different matchup now. Now you have the tight end.
That's who he's looking for, and he's got him open. Fourier, and he will be stopped at the 20-yard line.
See, here's what happens now. They make a change, Texas. They say, okay, you want to run that formation? We're not going to put a defensive back on Warren. We're going to put the linebacker, Reed, on the tight end, Fourier. So what does Cordell Stewart do? He goes against the linebacker with the tight end. There's the match he wants now. You just pitch and catch right now, Ron, for Colorado.
Stewart now 19 of 30, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns. Waits for the blocker, turns the corner at the 10, and will be stopped by Van Malone. First and goal for the Golden Buffaloes.
You have to give credit to Van Malone, the 6-foot, 188-pound strong safety, because he was able to accelerate and make the tackle to save the touchdown to Lamont Warren. This Colorado offense is impressive. Very impressive night for Elliott Uselak and Bill McCartney calling the plays.
the blitz coming up the middle. Warren to the outside, and he will be stopped at the 7-yard line. It's Ellis who was holding on to his ankle.
Joey Ellis has played a nice ball game tonight. He's been involved in secondary coverage. He's been isolated against 2 great receivers. He's been able to come up. You want a corner that can play pass defense, but also run support, where he can come up and make some tackles.
Carl Durrell, John Embry, Ben Gregory, and Terry Lewis making up the offensive staff for the Colorado Buffaloes.
A one-on-one with Michael Westbrook on the outside.
Flag is down. Texas was offside. Pitch to Warren, and he will not get into the end zone. But Texas jumped on the outside, so they have a free play. I think penalty will take it to the 3.
Check off by Cordell Stewart to the front. The blitz from the corner. He sees the strong safety, free safety coming on the outside. He checked off to the blitz.
Offside, defense.
Here's what Cordell Stewart's seeing. He knows a blitz is coming, so he's going to reverse out and run the option right into the blitz. Good call here. Watch how much this opens up right away. Here's the blitz. There's the pitch. And nothing but real estate.
Still second down.
Well, you can hear how much that wind has picked up through the referee's mic that time. Warren, 23 carries, 109 yards for him tonight, so he's over the century mark. Warren, left side, touchdown, Colorado. Hill with an excellent block to lead him into the end zone, Mike.
The good thing for this, for Bill McCartney, is it'll get his offense to have some confidence in him and Elliot Uzelak as play callers, because 34 in your opening ball game, and it's not over yet with 11:15 to play. Pretty good night out offensively.
Missed it. Berger off to the left, so the extra point is no good. Colorado 34, Texas 14. We'll be right back.
Wrangler cowboy cut jeans were designed by cowboys to be comfortable for an eternity. All 8 seconds of it. Wrangler, the Western original.
Today, a woman needs a life insurance plan of her own.
State Farm sells life insurance from an agent who's there for you today and there tomorrow, too. You see, we start you out right with a plan specifically designed for a woman's needs, one that protects the people who count on you for so very much. And the State Farm agent will be there tomorrow, too, as your life changes, to keep that plan working for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Cowboys invented Wrangler cowboy cut jeans for those relaxing moments when you just want to stretch out and unwind. Wrangler, the Western original.
Bigelow, someday, I'm better than
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. And by Wrangler, the most comfortable jeans known to man. Packed house here at Folsom Field. in Boulder, Colorado. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten. And glad to have you along. By the way, let's go back and pay off something we talked about at the beginning of the telecast. We said Colorado last year was 100th in Division I in rushing. Tonight, they have averaged 5.3 yards per carry, 35 carries, 186 yards.
Well, they averaged 5.2 in their national championship, and that's what they wanted to get back to, balance.
That's what you said off the top of the telecast, though. You thought that McCartney wanted to go more to balance, but particularly wanted to be able to run the football, and they have shown that tonight. And you see the night that Warren has had with over 100 yards for him.
You know, Bill can coach comfortably because he has a 13-year contract. So that's why he's scheduling all those tough teams, too, and that's why he's happy over there calling the plays.
Well, Eric Jackson can only look and toss it back to the official.
Ron, it's tough to play here at Colorado or BYU or any place where altitude makes the difference. And you look at a tired bunch here from the University of Texas. Fourth quarter here is an advantage to Colorado because of the air. I ran up the steps a couple weeks ago here, thought I was going to have a heart attack. You know, just tough to breathe out here. And it's an advantage for Colorado. And you have to talk about it. John Macvick says, we've discussed it. We're ready for it.
Right now, the Buffaloes on top by 20. Swing pass to Phil Brown. Probably a good thing he didn't catch it because Woolfolk was right there.
I talk about examples. Here's the cardiac kid, John Elway, just down the street here. Game-winning plays, 24, game-tying 7. Record fourth quarter comebacks. He's 120 and at home and 11 on the road. 30-0-1 in comeback situations, 5,280 feet, and they named that stadium Mile High for a reason.
Curtis Jackson will take it out over the 35 to the 37. Let's go to Mike Tirico.
Ron, they're underway in the Pac-10 at the Rose Bowl, and Dave Barr, season 2 as the quarterback at Cal, looking good. Familiar connection to Mike Caldwell. Lay out and make a great grab. His second touchdown of the evening. They're just underway, second quarter. The Bears up 11 on the Bruins.
That's surprising there. UCLA, Terry Donahue expected to have a pretty good club and down 14-3 to the Bears. Keith Gilbertson, former assistant Don James.
Gets it out to Brown. Cuts it upfield. You could hear the leather popping as he crosses the 44 to the 45-yard line.
Sam Rogers again on the play, Ron. Your linebacker, your outside linebacker that you talked about a lot tonight. Texas needs to answer quick.
I think the point that you made was so valid. Not to take anything away from Sam, but the fellow on the other side of the line gets so much attention, and Sam has great abilities, and he's taken advantage tonight. Anthony Holmes, sophomore out of San Antonio, wrapped up by Rogers, and that's enough for the Texas first down.
I've said it several times tonight, but you see an improved Texas football team. They may not come on top, out on top here tonight, but they're going to get better each week. And if I had them on the schedule, I'd be a little bit worried about what this guy's accomplishing down there because they're going to get better and better. See the rushing yards. 135 yards for Texas, 186 for Colorado.
Under 10 minutes to play. 34-14, Colorado. Total yardage now, Texas 462, Colorado 440. And Sam Rogers, who we have been talking so much about in the second half, being helped off the field. Looks like an injury to his hand.
hope with Lavelle Pinckney he doesn't eat himself out of that position, though. Just keep getting bigger and bigger.
To take the ball away from him is Dwayne Davis, but Adams will not have any of that, and it's a first down at the Colorado 34.
Colorado playing a little deeper in zone coverage. Michael Adams just on a curl route, about a 16, 17-yard curl route. Ball thrown right on the money in front of Dwayne Davis, the free safety.
Adams now over the 100-yard mark. 4 catches tonight, 102. Drop play, hit in the backfield, and that's a nice job as Holmes. Brian Diane is right there to diagnose that one, and also Shannon Clavel, number 92. You know, if I'm Syracuse and I got to play Texas in 2 weeks in Austin with the extreme heat that the Southwest has had, I'd make sure I had a lot of defensive backs in real good shape looking at this passing attack, because it'll be 120 degrees on that artificial turf.
Play a lot of people because you're going to need to.
Shovel pass and got it off to his running back, and Gerald Crawford got turned around. One of the reasons he didn't pick up more yards. Here's what we're talking about as far as heat down in Austin. The 99-yard average high, but look at humidity in the shade and humidity in the sun. And in fact, might get rain last Tuesday for the first time since June the 26th.
How's your grass?
What grass? It's like a parking lot. John McAbott looks up at the clock as it's about to go under 8 minutes to play, third down, and the line he needs is the 24 of Colorado. That long pass across the field, Shea Moran's is going to learn you can get away with it in high school, but you can't do it in college. Chris Hudson.
When I watch Colorado practice, they use tennis balls in all their drills, because they wanted the smallness of the ball, so that when footballs came in, they were like big for them so that they could see them. And tonight, they've been able to see them to intercept the football.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back to Boulder.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to Great Guana Cay in the Bahamas. But should there be trouble in paradise,
Honey, we missed the boat.
What do we do
only
now?
Visa Gold can come to your rescue, because the only hotel on Great Guana Cay doesn't take American Express.
I know that guy.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Harry. After 26 years of pitching in the majors, I've learned to take care of myself. Like now, when my muscles feel sore, I take Advil. To last as long as I have, you got to stick with what works.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Coming September 24th.
You gonna lead us to the promised land?
They have to work together.
I taught him that.
To survive.
Let's go!
The program. Rated R.
Some mornings start out good. Alonzo morning started out great. And if this keeps up, all kinds of things may happen. They'll retire his number. His home will become a shrine. They'll immortalize his Nikes, not to mention the Foot Locker where he gets them. So before all that happens,
get a pair of your own.
The new Nike basketball shoes are now at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
For Houston, everybody knows the game. I ain't bad yet. My mom and dad, everybody knows.
Ron, we get man coverage here on this last play. You're going to watch a smash route inside, corner route on the outside, but watch Chris Hudson, how he plays it and breaks on the football. He makes plays. We'll come back to it in a second.
Joseph, the new quarterback. Vance, a junior, also out of Marrero, Louisiana, 5'10", 195.
Here's the smash route. Chris Hudson playing the inside receiver on the corner route, but you see him break inside. Again, a poorly thrown football by Shea Morenz. Bad decision.
Clock stopped with 7:43 left to play in the ball game, and Colorado with a 20-point margin. As Hill has come in the ball game at running back, number 33, and he is at the top of your screen as they have no backs behind Vance Joseph. Quarterback draw. John Hunter took his feet out from under him. That name rings a bell. What his brother played at Nebraska. Good quarterback. 21 yards.
If you're Bill McCartney, you have to turn Vance Joseph loose too. I mean, you don't want to run the score up, but you have to play Vance Joseph right now to see what he can do. You have to run him in the game. You have to throw the football. You have to let Vance Joseph become a better quarterback tonight, because you never know what's going to happen to Cordell Stewart.
That's right, and case in point, it happened last year. Texas comes with the blitz, and Hill hit, knocked down, and let's go to Mike Tirico.
Ron, we mentioned Baylor comes to Boulder next. They're involved in quite a game with Fresno. J.J. Joe pulling back, putting it up top for John Stanley. 52 yards. They punch it in from the 2. Baylor has scored on its last 3 possessions, and they have the ball now, down 4 with 3 minutes left and going towards the end zone.
Chuck Reedy, the new head coach, replacing longtime head coach Grant Taft at Baylor.
And Jack Crow, the offensive coordinator, fired last year by Arkansas.
Ron, I told you Baylor was going towards the goal line. I wasn't lying. We'll show you J.J. Joe. Back to pass. Over the middle. It's Marvin Callies. Gets in the seam of the secondary. Breaks away from that tackle. 65 yards. Baylor by 3. 2 minutes left. Fresno has the ball.
Wow. 42-39.
Last team of the ball wins.
He may be right.
A shootout.
James Hill, a senior out of Colorado Springs. He has run well tonight, is at the 14-yard line. I believe he has another Colorado first down.
Ron, next week we go to Tennessee. Georgia, Tennessee. Of course, Georgia now coming off a tough loss and having to go to Knoxville 0-1.
Well, it'll be a shootout of the quarterbacks. Zaire on top, and Heath Schuler, number 21 for the Volunteers. Both of those young fellows are just excellent. Comes down, and as we check out the marker, we'll show you the numbers on those 2 quarterbacks that we will see next week in Knoxville. How did they do today? Zaire in a loss, Schuler in a win.
You look at Eric Zaire, 21-27. You can't ask quarterback doing much more than that. 242 yards in a losing effort. Heath Schuler, who I think is probably one of the best young all-around quarterbacks in the country, 13-23, 200 yards, 3 TDs. Ron, he can throw the football, but he also can run the option. David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator there for Phil Fulmer, has a real jewel in Heath Schuler, and I'm sure Ray Goff will go back to the practice field Monday and look at those tapes, and he'll have Georgia ready.
I know. Joe Theismann said last year after seeing Schuler in that bowl game, said that he had been told and he thought the kid was good, but in seeing him in person, he's got a real future ahead of him as far as beyond what the league that he's playing in now.
He does a great job of ball faking and ball handling, something that's a lost art with a lot of quarterbacks.
Straight ahead, quick opener with Hill, breaks off 1 tackle, and he's going to take it down close to the 16-yard line. Well, we talked so much about the quarterbacks at the beginning of the telecast tonight. Let's draw a bottom line. Cordell Stewart, 19 of 30, 246, 3 touchdowns, and across the field. What about Shea Morenz? Well, the youngster has some good numbers. The number he'd like to erase is the one that is highlighted there. 23 of 32, 356, 1 touchdown, but 4 interceptions. Joseph throws the pass incomplete.
He's going to learn, though, Ron. Those 4 interceptions today, he'll be better the next week, and then he'll be better the following week, and he's going to evolve into a real solid quarterback for Texas.
Yeah, don't forget baseball today, coming up immediately following our ball game. Pennant races are heating up.
And Ron, he had a battle on his hands with Chad Lucas. John Mackovic really didn't make a decision until close to the ball game. And Chad Lucas is a player that he's sitting on that bench, pretty talented quarterback also.
This is Bryant Westbrook, one of the freshmen playing for Texas tonight, right out of high school, who has an injured leg. They lost another high school freshman, Trey Thomas, to a separated shoulder. He's out 5 to 8 weeks, and probably, Mike, that's a situation they'll have to redshirt him, right?
Well, when he gets back, you don't know what kind of condition he'll be in, so you have to wait on him that way. I think if he's a good, solid freshman player, you redshirt him and just get him ready for next year.
Well, look at Bill McCartney, has this ball game well in hand. John Mackovic, and I know a young student who's a freshman at Wake Forest is probably watching this game tonight, his 18-year-old daughter, Amy. We were down watching practice the day that she left for school. A little bit of a traumatic experience for Dad. First time for her being away from home.
So you have 2 daughters, and when you coach, boy, it's tough on those kids and your wife.
Yeah.
Those games mean a lot to those kids.
I'm sure Amy has been watching up at Wake Forest tonight. Quarterback draw by Joseph. Going to be tripped up at the 11-yard line. Now it's 4th down. And the kicking unit will come on the field. Clock is running with 3:20, now 3:19 left in the ball game.
I think they're going to go for this, Ron.
After the special team started on, and they waved him back off. As a flag comes down close to the first down, he's not going to have it. Not going to have it on the 4th down try. Let's check the marker and see what that is about.
Where that flag came from, it looks like it's holding maybe on the tight end. Trying to determine whether they made the first down or not, whether to take the penalty, but didn't make the first down.
Holding on the offense, decline, Texas first down.
So as Chad Lucas comes on the field to take over at quarterback, there is a timeout. We'll be right back after this.
Imagine. In the beginning, he was there, encouraging you with his words and more. He taught you that you didn't quit just because the thing was hard. And he knew how to knot a tie even though he never seemed to wear one. So when it came time to buy your first truck, he took you to Formby because he knew at Formby Ford, you're not treated like a customer, you're treated like a member of the family. Formby Ford, Fort Lupton, and Formby Ford Mercury, Silverthorne.
It's a fact. More people buy Fords from Phil Long Ford than any other dealer in the Rockies. Why? Because we give great values, and value sells cars. Like Taurus, the best-selling car in America. This month, we value price them from just $269 a month. Think about that. Here's another bestseller, Explorer, over 60 of them, $299 a month. People can afford that. Ford's got great products, but real value is why they buy. We gotta show people there really is a difference at Phil Long Ford.
To learn how to be a filmmaker.
My mother was born in Yugoslavia.
The Front Lines, Croatia, where Larissa produced a video documentary. Study inspired and supported by the University of Colorado.
Education is the single best hope for changing this world and to solve the most pressing problems that are facing us today.
34-14 our score. Colorado on top, and you see the time left. And the aerial view that you've been seeing tonight coming from right there courtesy of the G.E. Johnson Construction Company, Colorado's contractor of choice, from their tower crane and the construction site of CU's new research building. And that's what you're looking at right there, as you see some holes in the home crowd over there. Some folks are content and are headed home. With 2:49 left to play, and Chad Lucas, Jr. out of Katy, Texas, 6'2", 225, has come in at quarterback. Going to be hit and welcomed with a safety. Threw the ball, and now here comes a late marker.
That was Darius Holland, a player with a lot of potential.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Spot of the foul is from the end zone. Therefore, we have a safety.
Yep. So it's a safety, and now comes a free kick. Darius Holland is a man who had him. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Here's the finish of this game between Fresno State and Baylor, and it was wild and wacky. That is a legal play. It's the lateral. And David Dunn goes back to the quarterback, Trent Dilfer. This in the final minute with Fresno knocking on the door. Dilfer fumbles the ball. He may have been down. It was very close. The ball goes back to Baylor. They run out the clock. Baylor will come to Boulder with a wild win by 3 over Fresno, Ron.
42-39. I'd hate to be an official or the stat guy in that one. Did you look at Chad Lucas? A shake of the head, and boy, things happen quickly. No matter how hard you work and try to prepare, when you're in situations like that, it's never the same as it is in the practice field, is it, Mike?
It's tough to come off the bench, too, in that situation when you're backed up like that, your first play. And Darius Holland, he's hungry to get in there, 6'5", 285. He just bolted off to the ball and made the sack.
Pinckney, excellent ball game for him tonight, but he can't be pleased because they're going to lose this. And individual efforts mean absolutely nothing. On the free kick, they'll kick it from the ground. Chiretti has it teed at the 20. Some teams like to punt it. Others will use the free kick just as after a field goal or a touchdown. From the tee. Round to 26. Well, tonight's Visa players of the game are from the University of Texas, Lavelle Pinckney, 6 receptions, 139 yards and 1 touchdown. And from the University of Colorado, yep, the running game worked tonight. One of the big reasons was Lamont Warren, 110 yards rushing, 31 receiving, and 1 touchdown. And as part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities, and also $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes.
Ron, Duke Tobin's in at quarterback now. He's another fine quarterback that played for him last year and won a game.
His daddy was a coach with the Ditka regime at
he was with the Bears. He was in player personnel. A fine gentleman.
Arlington Heights, Illinois. James Hill will take it straight ahead to the 46. And Adrian Karsten, what have you got going on down on the sideline?
Well, what's going on is the fact the Buffaloes are wasting no time here. Word just got out about the Baylor victory. The chant's going, Baylor, Baylor, right here next week.
How was that again?
Baylor, Baylor.
That's pretty good. That's without a megaphone, too.
It was an octave higher. I heard it. Hill breaks off 1 tackle, and Brackens will wrap him up. So, as we mentioned, the Buffaloes get Baylor for the Southwest Conference, and for Texas, they get a week off and then are at home. And they will take on the Syracuse Orangemen at Memorial Stadium 2 weeks from today. The game that had been scheduled for night and now has been moved to daytime. Tubbs, as you mentioned, tough on Winford tonight, trying to play with that cast on his wrist. Play action by Tobin. Got his man, and he just Pueblo, Colorado. And Norm saying to himself, hey, I got Fourier in front of me. I got Embry in front of me. Barnett plays. Ford plays. I get a chance and then I drop it.
Ball thrown right on the money by Duke Tobin. You talk about talent. Now, they got 3 good quarterbacks playing. Duke Tobin, Vance Joseph, and, of course, Cordell Stewart. Have Coy Detmer over the sideline. They're going to have a hard time recruiting a quarterback here for a while.
Chris Carter has gone back on a single safety for Texas. 1:18 left in the ball game. Colorado 36-14. Very high, good coverage kick. Fair catch is signaled for and made at the 10-yard line. Well, the Winston Cup points leader Dale Earnhardt has 6 wins this season, and he'll be out to get his 7th tomorrow in Darlington. Don't miss any of the excitement of the Mountain View Southern 500 tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN. So next Saturday night, Knoxville, Tennessee. 96,000 plus. Big SEC game for both, but particularly for Georgia after being knocked off by South Carolina today. They set up the screen pass. And Gerald Crawford will take it out close to the 20-yard line.
Ron, you talk about both those teams, Georgia and Tennessee, both need a win next week, SEC game. And I tell you, the tough one in that division is Florida. I think Florida's a real solid football team this year with Steve Spurrier, and I think Tennessee has to go to Florida the following week, so it'll be tough on them. And they've got 2 tough ones in a row for Phil Fulmer and his staff.
Chad Lucas drills it long and almost intercepted. You know, I'll tell you, a team that I was a little surprised at. I had been told and had read that Memphis State was going to be pretty good, but with 9 minutes left in their ball game, they are walloping Mississippi State 45-22. That's a lot of points.
Memphis State has a good football team. They closed out strong last year, and a lot of people expect them to be pretty good this year.
And I've just been given an update that Mississippi State has come back with 13 points. It is 45-35. The stats guys are getting a workout tonight.
A lot of points in the first week of football.
Pass for Crawford, incomplete.
I think there's a lot of teams this year with a chance to win the national title. Florida State, of course, with a lot of talent. Alabama, I think, is loaded again with a good schedule. Nebraska, we talked about them. They're kind of my pick right now. Florida, Miami. I mean, there's some good football teams. Syracuse, we're going to see them Thursday night. Syracuse at East Carolina, which will be a game that we'll have on TV for you next Thursday.
You know, Mike,
Arizona's another one.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, there's a team that's going to be begging for a little acceptance and spotlight because they are a very good football team. Roderick Walker this time will take it out to the 26. Could be the last play of the game. Well, that man should be happy with the rushing yards tonight. The job that Lamont Warren has done, and also Hill when he has come in the ball game.
And we can't forget them. They have a shot because they have Nebraska here.
Pass incomplete. That's Davis. The pass was intended for.
Well, that's what he wanted, Ron. He wanted rushing yardage, and he's 44 attempts, 247 yards.
And that average per carry, 5.6.
It's a great feeling when you're coaching, when it's all locked up and you go shake everybody's hands. Hey, you did a good job. Hey, you did a good job. Hey, you did one too. Great feeling. Hey, everybody's smiling. Yeah, happy. Everybody's looking. The other sideline, oh, it's pure misery.
And on the other sideline, it's that long trip to Denver on the bus and get on the charter. And you don't get back into the wee hours, which heightens that thing of having to really be just consumed with it, right? Can't get it off your mind.
No, very difficult.
Lucas throws that one a little high and wide. It'll stop the clock with 7 ticks left on the clock.
So next week it is Knoxville. The week after that we go to Chapel Hill and a much improved North Carolina football team against the club that is currently #1 Florida State. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be a good game. North Carolina really surprised Southern Cal in the opener with the option. They just ripped Southern Cal in that ball game. Southern Cal never stopped the option in that football game. Tonight, Ron, Colorado's play selection, 44 rushes, 33 passes. You talk about balance. That's exactly what Elliot Uselak was preaching the other day in practice.
Misses that one on second down. Now 3 seconds.
Defensive coordinators next week in our Saturday game. They've got their job ahead of them. Richard Bell from Georgia, the defensive coordinator. Larry Marmie, I'm sure they're sitting at home right now eating a sandwich, but worrying about those other quarterbacks, Eric Zier and Heath Schuler next week.
Pass goes incomplete, and that's it from Boulder with the final score. Colorado 36.